Hey, Symposium listeners. Have you ever listened to our A Song of Ice and Fire coverage and wanted to chime in live with your thoughts? Or wanted us to cover a property of your choice?
Introducing the Symposium Review Contest. The contest is open now and closes on August 31st, 2026.
Here's how you can enter. Leave us a 5-star review on any podcatcher and send us a screenshot to earn an entry. You can leave reviews on as many platforms as you want, and each screenshot counts as an entry.
If you want an extra incentive, every review you submit on or before April 30th, 2026 will be counted as 2 entries.
If you win, you get to pick one of the following 3 options.
Option 1, join us for an A Song of Ice and Fire wrap-up episode after we have read A Dance with Dragons.
Option 2, get us to watch or read or otherwise consume a piece of media to cover on the podcast.
Option 3 is the same as option 2, but you get to also be on the podcast episode with us.
We will have a minimum of 2 winners. One winner will be the person who earned the most entries, and a second winner will be chosen through random draw. If interest is high, a third winner may also be chosen.
So folks, get those reviews in on or before August 31st, 2026. We look forward to chatting with you in fall of 2026.
And now on to the episode. Welcome to A Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Nav, and my pronouns are they, them.
And my name's Harmit, and my pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate.
And this is A Dance with Dragons, chapters 59, 60, and 61. The Discarded Knight, the Spurned Suitor, and the Griffin Reborn. In these chapters,
Barristan, Quentin, and Connington get ready to face the fire.
welcome to the podcast, everyone. So, Harmit, who died in these chapters?
Oh god. Okay, so give me like 1 second to close my eyes and think. Okay, so in Barristan's chapter... Oh my god, there was an important death. Give me a second. Oh, hold on. The Admiral guy? I don't remember his name.
Grolio.
Yeah, Grolio. Yeah. And I think that's it. And then in frickin' Quentin's chapter, we find out that Tyrion's master guy has also now officially died.
Right.
And then, did anybody else die in Quentin's? I don't think so.
I don't remember either, but there might have been like a death happening in the background that they just,
Yeah, it was more of a backdrop death, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had John Connington in... I'm just gonna call him Connington, because he ain't John. We already have a John.
Sure.
Or I guess Griff. Yeah. Okay, in Griff's chapter... like 4 of his guys die. And then...
And a bunch of the castle guards.
Yes, and a bunch of the castle guards. Yeah, just kind of the fighting that takes place for them to take over his old castle again.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's move on to what you thought of these chapters.
Oh yeah, okay, these were...
Were you okay with reading 3?
I was okay with reading 3, but like, I looked at them and I was like, oh, the first one's 11 pages, the second one's 9 pages, and then the third one was 15 pages. And I was like, oh, okay, so the first 2 are going to be simple, and then the third one's going to be wild. The first 2 took me so freaking long to read. I was like...
Why?
I don't know why. I just kept getting lost in the sauce.
Your brain wasn't working.
Maybe, yeah, because it was early morning, but I just kept getting lost in the sauce. And I was like, this is literally 9 pages, and I've been on... Actually, no, Quentin's was even fine. But Barristan's was 11 pages, and I was like, I have been here for so long. Like, what am I doing? And then I was like...
Let's hope that doesn't translate to our talking about these chapters.
Yeah, but then I'm reading like Griff's chapter and I'm like, oh, this is fine, easy breezy, you know? But for some reason, Mr. Barry just took a long time to get through his thoughts. Yeah, no, but I did have a good time. I was like, oh my god, this is taking me too long, but I had a fun time. These were so like, if not action-packed, like, right before the action, you know? Like, literally the next chapter we have for all of these people is gonna be, like, there's gonna be so much going on. Yeah, I was afraid for all of them, because there's just, especially, like, two of them are in, like, Marine, and then I'm just kind of like, oh my god, this is happening, what? Like, this is happening. So I was kind of stressed out, but in a fun way, because I was like, oh, this is the thick of it. Like, we're not even getting into the thick of it, this just is the thick of it, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, but they were fun.
Cool. Let's summarize.
Okay.
I'll instead of saying switch, I'll say the name of the character.
Thank you. Okay.
3, 2, 1, Barristan.
Okay, Barristan, Hisdar's holding court. The young Kai people come in, they're like, here's Gorillio's head, he was the hostage. Did that unprompted, because they were like, your dragon killed one of our guys, and it's like, well, that wasn't really our fault. And then they basically are like, if you want peace, you gotta kill the dragons. And Barristan's like, absolutely not, because I got a plan, and Hisdar's gonna die by the end of the day tomorrow if I have anything to say about it. Was that 30? I'm just gonna switch, because I'm out of I'm out of things to say.
Now you're over time.
Okay, Quentin. Quentin, same area, same vibes. He's meeting with the Tattered Prince, who, by the way, remember, abandoned, whatever, and then he basically is like, you're gonna help me steal one of the dragons. The Tattered Prince is like, I want money. No, actually, such a big thing, I want Pentos. And Quentin basically is refusing to leave, even though Barristan was like, dude, you gotta leave. Like, they're gonna kill you or frame you.
Connington.
Okay, Connington. They've arrived at Cape Wrath, which is very close to Storm's End. And the reason they're at Cape Wrath is because Connington's Griffin Den is there. That's the place, right?
Griffin's Roost.
Oh, thank you, yeah. So he's from Griffin's. It's there. He's gonna reclaim his area, reclaim his land. They, like, kill people in the process of him getting his land back. They're slowly getting all their ships and their elephants in. They're like, they only have
time. The first two you were doing so good. It's just so good.
I know. And then I was like, well, I'm only used to doing two, so then I basically fumbled.
Yeah, although I don't think you really said
what did I not say?
Any of what happened in Barristan's chapter. You were just like, he's just like, I'm gonna kill Hisdar, which I don't think he did.
Okay, I was, you know, sometimes you can't reach for the right word, you just reach for what comes, you know? And also, I did say what happened in Barristan's chapter. I ate that one.
All I remember is they're gonna kill dragons.
Yeah, and they brought the head and all the things.
Okay.
I didn't get to the
Maybe I blanked out. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I take it back.
I didn't say the Quentin. That's why I was like, wait, can I move on? Because I'm getting into Quentin stuff, and I can't keep track of what was in which chapter, so I was like, I'll just put all the Quentin stuff in the second summary.
Right. Okay.
You know? Yeah, but let's do it.
Barristan, once again, he's at court. No one but Hisdar's protectors are allowed swords, but he's got to keep his. At least nobody has taken it from him. They probably are like, how much of a threat can he be?
Yeah, this old man.
His sword cane. But remember when he was pretending to be just like an old man, and then he just had like a staff, and he fucked people up with that too. So like, Barristan can be badass.
That's true. They just don't know, because they're like, he's just like, yeah.
And Hisdar's got like, he's replaced the bench that Daenerys used to sit on with these like really terrible, over the top thrones that are like carved in the shape of dragons. And he's like wearing a golden crown, and he's got a jeweled scepter in his hand. Like,
oh my god,
so overkill.
And in his like introduction, when the herald introduces him at the end, it's like consort to dragons and blood of the harpy, and I was like, dislike.
Exactly. But I guess because, see, with Daenerys, she had the power, so she didn't need to like show she had the power.
Yeah.
He actually holds no power, so he has to like pretend
Yeah.
that he has power by like putting on this whole show.
Yeah. And like all like he has two like thrones, and then like he sits on one and the other one's like it's like, hey, it's like, look, I'm equal to Danny. Like, Danny's not here right now, so it's me, you know? Like,
yeah, it's all the trappings of power, but don't know how much of actual power.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So there's this, that's like the whole thing. You know, once again, Barristan's like, your protectors, I mean, they're good fighters, but are they going to be able to really protect you from any hidden killers?
That can strike.
Yeah.
And I was like, Barristan, are you going to kill Hisdar? Do it.
Yeah. And he's just like, I barely sleep these days. I'm an old man. I don't need sleep.
Basically.
So, like, he doesn't sleep. All he does is stress. And neither prayer nor dawn had brought him certainty because he's like, I don't know what to do. Like, am I doing the right thing?
Oh my God.
At some point, you just got to do the thing and then later decide if it was the right thing.
That's true. Sometimes there's just no way to know. And the more you think, the
Ask
more you
Tyrion.
just...
He always does it. And he's managed to live so far.
That's true. Oh my God.
Yeah. And he's looking around at like all the attendees. Like there's the new head of the Brazen Beast. I say head in quotes, you know. And he's like, this guy is just the worst of all. Like I've met many people like him, and he has all the worst qualities.
Yeah.
He's always fawning to his superiors, but harsh to his inferiors, and boastful and too proud by half, like all those things. And then Barristan's like, this guy's, he's supposed to be the new Shape Pate, but really the old Shape Pate could still be around here somewhere, because who knows behind which of these masks he might be hiding. And so they, you know, they announce, and it's who's like, it's the people from Yunkai that are coming, right?
Yeah.
People are like asking about Daenerys, and Resnack is trying to be like, oh, Daenerys is, you know, she'll be here in her time, but like for now, Hisdar is our king, and the freed people are not cool with that. He's no king of ours.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And they're trying to be like, listen, we sent the Dothraki, and they each had 10 riders. Like, for sure, they can totally find her in the whole total grassland that they call the Dothraki Sea because it's so big.
Literally. Oh my God. Yeah. And like, there's like a little mini fight that breaks out. Like a freedman pushes like a guy, like a Tokar guy, and then the Brazen Beasts have to like come in, and like even Barristan is like, yeah, it's so tense in here. Like everybody kind of hates everybody. Like,
yeah. Speaking of everybody hating everybody, Quentin and his friends are there, and at one point, Hisdar makes note of them and looks displeased, and immediately Barristan's like, that's not good.
Yep. Oh my God.
And he's like reflecting on Quentin and all, like, you know, the offer he made. And ultimately he's like, she wants fire and Dorne sent her mud. And this is cool. You could make a poultice out of mud to cool a fever. You could plant seeds in mud and grow a crop to feed your children. Mud would nourish you, where fire would only consume you, but fools and children and young girls would choose fire every time. I don't know why we need to separate young girls from children, but okay, Barristan. Like, the vibes are...
This is an old white man. I expected nothing more, unfortunately. But yeah, like,
but
his point
the general
stands.
idea.
Yeah.
But like, Quentin is mud and the Tatter Prince is like, frog suits you better. Like, the poor kid.
I know, and even Barristan, like, you know how Dany was like, yeah, he's not really that attractive. I wish the Drinkwater guy was the prince, like, whatever.
Yes.
And then Barristan is doing the same shit. He's like, yeah, he was short and stocky, plain-faced. I'm like, Barristan, give this
but
guy
then later, he's looking at Drinkwater and is like, if this one had been the prince, things might have gone elsewise.
Exactly. And it's like Barristan just knew her so well. Like that, like Barristan is so perfect for an advisor to Dany role. Like he gets it.
He's also not a big fan of Drinkwater himself. Like he calls him false coin. There's something too pleasant about Drinkwater for his taste. I don't.
Yeah, I also, it's funny because I fluctuate between Drinkwater, like or about Drinkwater, like, I feel like he just is so annoying. Like, he can't shut his mouth. It's like, he's one of those people who has to give his opinion on every tiny thing that happens. And I get, like, obviously in Quentin's chapter, like, Quentin's making a big choice, so you gotta, like, yap. But in this chapter, like, I think he's the one who lets out a little like a snort or like a laugh or something, and then Hisdar notices them. Like, he's just a little bit annoying for my taste. But yeah, I also wonder if Barristan is...
No. Drinkwater is the one who's like whispering to them.
Oh, and then the other
Archibald
guy
is the one that laughs at whatever he's
okay,
whispering.
my bad. Sorry, Drinkwater. I guess I'm just biased against you. But like he's like he just like he literally does not keep a single thought to himself, like truthfully.
Right.
But I think I don't know about false coin, but I also do trust Barristan's judgment. So maybe it's like when it comes down to it, like if Quentin's actually in trouble, like, he's gonna bolt to save his own ass. And so far it's like he hasn't had to save his own ass, so he's been cool. I don't know.
Cool. I guess their friendship might be tested when they go on their little mission.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, and then continuing on thinking about Quentin, he's like, wait a minute, this guy's related to the Red Viper.
Yes.
The guy who was a notorious poisoner. Was he the one that could have poisoned those locusts? Like,
bro, that would have made take Quentin instantly from the most boring POV we have as like a person to like so interesting.
Mastermind. Yeah. Like
if he
it's like how we underestimate his dad, it would have been like,
yes, exactly. Wouldn't that have been so nice? When he said this, I was like, I know this isn't true, but I want it so desperately to be, you know?
Yeah, because like it would be kind of a, you know, it would be a strategic move because killing Hisdar would have like broken the peace, and then Daenerys would have like basically had no choice but to turn to Dorne for support.
Yeah. And also now, if this was also, I'm thinking like, because this made me really think, I'm like, okay, could it? I don't think it could be Quentin, but could it have been? And when Quentin was like, don't worry, I have something up my sleeve or whatever, like, didn't he say that to Dany? Or did we just assume, like, wasn't there a point where the wedding was set and everything and, like, Quentin was still just being optimistic? Or was that just him being like, because you know how in his chapter here, he's like, everyone thinks I'm a joke, but Dany always spoke softly to me. Is that just his, like, relentless optimism?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that when we get there.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so the Myronese, the Youngkish come in, and it's like some of the leaders plus like Bloodbeard, one of the guys who sells swords. I know you asked me in one chapter which sellsword company is his. I looked it up and then I immediately forgot. So, although I think it's in the appendix. So you can find it if you really wanted to.
I think I also looked at that today and then immediately forgot. So
yeah. So like the point is, it doesn't really matter. But the Tattered Prince and Brown Ben Plum are not there, Barristan notes. And I guess that shows that they may not be agreed to this plan so much. Or like in the case of Brown Ben Plum, a certain Tyrion has been successful in like getting him, you know. And then the Tattered Prince, obviously, we know has like he'll be loyal to whoever gives him Pentos. So so that's all going on. Resnack is trying to be like, oh, welcome, like, you know, we're so glad to see you. And then they're like, shut up. And no, Resnack is literally like, we understand. And then Bloodbeard interrupts him and says, understand this. And flings a freaking severed head at the guy.
Yeah.
And it just rolls and rolls and rolls until it like gets to Barristan's throne. No, not Barristan's. Hisdar's throne. And it is the head of Admiral Grolio. Oh, poor guy just wanted to go home.
Yeah, man. Ugh.
And like when that happens, Barristan looks at Hisdar and he's thinking about all the kings he has seen and how they would have reacted to this. And he's like, Eris would have flinched away in horror, likely cutting himself on the barbs of the Iron Throne, then shrieked at his swordsman to cut the Yankishman to pieces.
Yep.
Robert would have shouted for his hammer. Even Jaehaerys, even though he was thought of as weak, would have ordered the arrest of Bloodbeard and the Yankish slavers. Meanwhile, Hisdar sits frozen. So
this man can't do shit. Like,
yeah.
And they know, I mean, they probably came in basically knowing that this is what he would do, you know? Like,
yeah. And these people, and then they're Hisdar's stumbling. This is not what meaning, how, what, he's basically doing that.
Yeah.
And the Yunkish are like, our leader, supreme leader, the strongest guy that ever lived but could not hold up his own weight, perished cruelly while a guest of Meereen.
Right.
And
spinning it.
Barristan's like, guy was trampled by his own people. I don't know how much we could have done to prevent that.
Literally.
And so this is payback. Like, our guy was killed in Meereen, and now we're going to kill one of your people. And Barristan's reflecting on how they decided on Grolio. Like, was it because they thought that he was the least important, so it wouldn't invoke the biggest reaction? Or was it that they just drew straws and then whoever lost?
Yeah, I don't know. I think with the other ones, like, I think especially with, well, I don't actually know, like, what the Yunkish know and what they don't, but I mean, Dany and Dario were being pretty obvious in court that one day, so I honestly assume they know. But I think with Dario, and then because they have a couple of her blood riders as well, right? So I think with those people,
like, they have one of her blood riders and one of the leaders of, like, the Unsullied. And
right. So, like, right, yeah. So I think, like, maybe, like, those are also too important of hostages to kill right away. Like, I think it would, like, because then that chip is kind of gone. Whereas if you killed one of them and then you had Grolio, like, no one's gonna be like, oh no, let me listen to you to save Grolio.
Right, yeah. And Barristan tries to be like, your guy died by accident. How is it anybody's fault? But you know, also, they're like, death is death.
I did have a thought, though, like, with the Yunkish and how, like, they've been, like, fighting over power and, like, things, they are not really exactly organized right now. I'm like, what if they just, like, killed all of them, but they just don't want to admit it? Like, I feel like, what if they're so disorganized that, like, they just, I don't know. So, I hope not.
So they're already dead, but they've only exposed one of the deaths.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, you didn't do this, so here's this one.
And that's a possibility. But they do return 3 of the hostages to show their quote-unquote good faith, and all of these are, like, the Meereenese nobles that were there.
Right. So they still don't return the ones that, like, Dany would care about.
Hisdar's sister and cousins. So, like, I guess they're, like, most important to Hisdar, but not the ones important to Dany.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess if they're still hoping that she perished, or if, because I also feel like, because it's tough, because sometimes I feel like you don't know what they're thinking, because we only know what they want everyone else to think. So, like, they want everyone else's, like, they don't want people hoping Dany's still alive and is going to come save them, you know? So, but I don't know if because, like, they saw what happened, right? But maybe they're just so disbelieving. Like I just don't know if they think that Dany's still out there, you know? Like, I don't know.
Nobody really knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Barristan has to be the one that also asks for Grolio's body to be returned.
Literally.
So that they could at least give him a, burial. Which they're like, okay, whatever. Just, they're like treating it all as a nuisance. Like, who cares? Why are you talking?
Yeah.
Yeah. But So they returned 3 of the hostages, but 3 of them, being Dario, Hero, and one of the Blood Riders,
Yeah.
still they're keeping as hostages, even though all their people, all the rest of their people got back to camp. Like,
yeah, and his Dar is just like, what? Like, what? Like, he literally is just, and like, yeah, I guess, like, back when, like, Danny was still mostly in charge, and his Dar was like, hey, look at what I can do, you should marry me, right? I guess it makes sense that then people were, like, cooperating with him, because they knew that he really wanted this power and whatever, so they could just kind of use him as a pawn and get what they needed out of the agreement, right? And
yeah.
I guess that makes sense, but I guess at the time when it was all happening, I didn't realize how incapable he truly was. Like, now I'm looking back and I'm thinking back to how his interactions with them and, like, probably
is he
went.
incapable, or is he pretending to be incapable? And
do you think so?
If he is incapable, then
Yeah.
if he is this, wow, if he is this incapable at this task,
Yeah.
is he capable of being like the Harpy, or colluding with the Sons of the Harpy, and so on and so forth?
Yeah.
Those are
that's
questions.
good. Yeah, no,
you can't just say yeah to the question. You have to, like, try to answer it.
I'm thinking about the question. Oh my god. Yeah. I didn't think about the Harpy thing. I think him being incapable still works with that, because, like, I think we talked about this before. I don't think he has to, like, be a son of the Harpy to be part of the, like, colluding, you know? Like, I know that they have, like, it seems that they have, like, a secretive, in control, like, sort of operation, but I feel like his Dar, I feel like there's a way for his Dar to be involved without, like, being so involved that he could mess things up. Do you know what I mean?
So how is he involved?
Not, like, he knows who it is, or, like, he's able to contact them, but he's not one of them. Like, he has contacts that he can use, but he's not part of the Sons of the Harpy, I think, is kind of what I'm thinking. Because, yeah, I think if he was part of the Sons of the Harpy, like, I don't know, but then why would he be, like, is he just floundering now? Like, but then why would he do, especially with, like the Volantis people coming too, like, you don't got time to flounder, like, what are you doing? So, I don't know. But I feel like he sincerely is just bad at this job. And I think also it's, like, I think it's easier to, I think what he was doing before he had this job is also easier than what he has to do now. Because before, it was like, of course,
like, Danny was struggling for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. But I also think just because, like, back then he could kind of please everybody. So, like, with Danny, he'd be like, I'll get you this. With the Harpy, he could be like, I'll get you this. With Yunkai, he's like, I'll get you this. But then now he has to actually do it, and the execution is always so much harder than, like, the campaign, you know? Right. So I think it just is, like, we didn't see how bad he was at his job. And I think that even if some people saw how bad he was going to be at it, they knew that it could be exploited. Like, if, while talking to him, the Yunkish realized that he wasn't shit and he was really easy to overpower, that's actually even better for them. Because Danny's somebody that they couldn't just walk all over. Whereas with his Dar, if they saw this coming, like, oh, we'll be able to walk all over him, even better, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this was infuriating, and I was like, Barristan, take charge. I was like, Barristan, kill him, get on the throne.
Yeah. The person that is causing the most amount of trouble from the Yunkish is Bloodbeard, who is looking for a fight, because if he gets to fight and take over the city, there will be, like, plundering and, you know, money to be made and all of that.
Yeah.
And so he's eager to keep the, like, tensions high.
Yes,
yeah. But basically his Dar's like, I'll think about it. Bye.
I will convene with my council. Like, what on earth?
Yeah, all kneel for his magnificence, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just So people start leaving, and Barristan catches up with Quentin and his party as they're about to leave too. And he's like, so you should leave the city, go back to Dorne. Like,
now.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, no, by now, he's like, don't even go back to your rooms to get your stuff. Leave as you are. It's that urgent.
Oh my God.
And they're like, but our weapons and our money and our stuff is there. And Barristan's like, weapons can be replaced. I can give you money that you need, but just leave.
Oh my God.
The king made note of you today. He frowned, and Drinkwater obviously laughs at that. And Quentin's like, listen, it's not like, I don't think it's that serious, even though Daenerys did warn me about him as well. And Salome's like, she warned you and you're still here? What
are you doing?
How can you justify that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he's like, but the marriage pact.
Yes. It's like, it's too late. You came too goddamn late. Like, if you had come in Karth, we would have never turned towards Slaver's Bay. We would have gone straight to Dorne. But you arrived like the day before her wedding. It's too late.
Yeah, because at that point, and that's such a good point, because at that point, like, it literally was like, okay, we're trying to get to Westeros, but it's hard, and we don't got the resources, and we got all these, and like, if they had made it then we would have an ally, we would have the resources, those could be sent, but it's like, man, it was just enough late that, it was just late enough that here we are, you know? But I liked, he's like, your father keeps his secrets well, too well, and I was like, man.
Yeah. You know, her Grace has a new husband and an old paramour and seems to prefer the both of them to you. Which,
ouch!
Yeah.
Ouch!
And Quentin has the gall to be like, but he's not good enough for her. And Barristan's like, that's not for you to decide.
Yeah.
And it like gets him thinking again about the poisoning, and he's like, did you do it? Did you do it? And apparently Belwas is still hanging on by a thread.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was so shocking that he's not dead.
Apparently his size and his strength have saved him.
Wow.
But he might yet die. So far he's alive, but he might yet die. And the shock is so plain on Quentin's face that Barristan is like, okay.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I overestimated you, actually.
Exactly. You're not that good an actor, so I believe that you didn't do this.
Yeah.
And then Barristan advises him very properly, even if you didn't do it, he might try to pin it on you because he needs a scapegoat. And who better than the guy who was competing for Daenerys' affection?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then they start talking about Daario, and Barristan's like, I'm pretty sure y'all have paramours in Dorne, so don't even like come at me about that. And
icon.
Yeah, like that's not a argument they can have. But what one thing we do learn is that Prince Lewin, who was on the Kingsguard, also had a paramour. Like they're supposed to be, you know, celibate and whatnot, which is ridiculous. But but he had someone he loved or had sex with at the very least, and his brothers knew, and like
and it was just
they were
chill.
cool with it. Yeah,
and Lewin's kind of the reason Barristan is even trying to save Quentin. Like that's why he's even bothering. He's like, I owe it to Lewin. I couldn't save Lewin, but I'll save his nephew. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, and what Quentin is trying to say is maybe Daario was trying to kill his Dar. And Barristan's like, Daario would totally kill his Dar, but not through poisoning.
Yeah, exactly.
And also he wasn't there, so like he really couldn't have done it.
Yeah, and and that's also why
he can't be blamed because he's the leader of one of the companies, so his Dar needs him. So there's like lots of things happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is when Hisdar is thinking about in his own head, and he thinks in a few more days, if the god smiled on them, Hisdar would no longer rule Marine. He doesn't say Hisdar would be dead, just that he wouldn't be in charge anymore.
Yeah, I think that was my own
plan.
hopes coming into it. Because you know how at the beginning of the chapter he was like, I forget what he said, but he like kind of like touches his sword a little and like looks as Hisdar or something. And like there were just a few moments where I was like, you could kill him now. You could kill him now, you know? So that was my own thoughts coming into it.
Yeah. But would that really help?
No, but I still wanted him to do it. Like, not because I thought it was politically right, but because I was like, Hisdar, get out of here. You know?
Yeah. And then Quentin's like, they call you Barristan the Bold. And obviously Barristan like flashes back to how he got that name when he was 10 years old and like signed up for a tourney as a mystery knight and borrowed some war horse and armor, and like he was defeated by
he entered the lists, like everybody laughed at him, and then nobody wanted to fight him because they were like, what?
I think Prince Duncan, the Prince of Dragonflies, I think is the one who he fought against, and instead of just being like, get off this field, kid, he like actually was like, okay, we'll go at it once. And then it only took the one time to like unhorse him, obviously.
Yeah, and he still remembers like, he actually took me seriously. And he was the one who, after Barristan like got unhelmed, he was like, a bold boy, you know? And then he became Barristan the Bold.
And that was 53 years ago.
Oh my god, our favorite.
So he is Barristan the Bold, and Quentin's like, what are they gonna call me if I go back empty-handed? And he's like, Quentin the Cautious, Quentin the Craven, Quentin the Quail.
Oh my god.
And Barristan's, in his head he thinks the prince who came too late.
Oh my god.
But out loud he says Quentin the Wise and hopes that it's true. And that's the end of that chapter.
Yeah, Barristan, if you only knew.
Yeah. We're going to do predictions after Quentin's chapter because they're kind of interrelated.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I think I missed saying what the Younkish wanted. What the Younkish want is the dragon's dead. I think we never like fully stated that out loud. That's the thing that Hisdar is gonna go think about.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, people.
Yeah.
Very disjointed summarizing today.
Yeah, and that's yeah. Which I was like, but I also was like, I was kind of waiting for this to happen. Like, I figured somebody would be like, the dragon's gonna die. But that still didn't stop me from being upset. I was like, you come in here with Grolio's head, and now you want us to kill our dragons, and you still haven't even returned the hostages. Like, who do you think you are? Like, get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, what Hisdar should have said, but didn't.
Yeah.
So, the Spurned Suitor. It's like later that night or the next day or something, but they're hanging out and Drinkwater
the
was
hour
sent
of
out.
Ghosts. I'm like, what does that even mean? Okay, moving on. I'm like, I've never heard that used before, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a legit measure of night time, or maybe it's just something Quentin is thinking. I don't know, but we open up when Drinkwater is returning because he was sent on a task. And his task was to go find this guy Beans to deliver a message to the tattered prince. And he agreed, that's basically that.
Yeah.
And they're talking about whether they should do this or if they should just go back. And obviously, Sir Archibald is immediately like, we can go back, but we're not going back on ships because he gets seasick.
Oh my god.
But eventually you're going to need to get on a ship, though. You do realize that Dorne is across the sea.
Yeah, you literally have to get on a ship. Like,
yeah. And Quentin's like, going back the way I came. And like with 3 people that came with me dead, like what for? What good did I do?
Yeah.
And he's thinking how his father would speak no word of rebuke, yet Quentin knew the disappointment would be there in his eyes.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah.
Poor Quentin, man.
Yeah. He's like, I won't keep you all here, but if you want to go, you could go, but I'm doing this. Yeah. And they're like, we're doing this too. Fine. And the next day, Beans or somebody comes up and is like, okay, he'll meet with you. Mm-hmm. And Quentin's like, fine, I'm bringing my 2 people. He can bring 2 men as well, no more. Mm-hmm. This chapter should teach him to use gendered language.
Oh my god.
And so they're like, okay, cool. See ya the next day at this come to this marked door in the market somewhere. Mm-hmm. And so they are supposed to meet there at sunset. They leave like an hour before. And they're arguing about...
This was so funny to me because... Sorry, this chapter for some reason was really funny to me. Like, I genuinely was laughing sometimes. And one of the things was like, it's like, they leave an hour before sunset to make sure they have enough time to get there at sunset. They don't end up getting there until the sun has, like, well set. I was like, true? Yeah, because then, like, on the next page, it's like, the sun had sunk below the city wall by the time they found the purple lotus. And I'm like, y'all, it took y'all an hour
No, but
plus.
the city wall is not sunset, though.
So the sun has not set yet? Sun had sunk
I just figured that the sun was close to setting. You know, like how it's going to set behind a wall before it, like, sets for you.
I guess I just assumed it had, like, well set. And I was like, it took y'all, like, an hour and what? Like, how long to do this?
Yeah. I thought they were right on time. Okay, doesn't matter. They're arguing about just how bad of an idea it is. They lied to these people. They used them. Why would they help them? You know, all of the above.
Valid.
Yeah.
This is where I was like, hey, Drinkwater not shutting up is actually useful sometimes because he was bringing up good points.
Yeah. And they're talking about the Dragon Slayer guy and how brave he was, and somebody's like, how dead he is, you mean?
Oh my
and
God.
What's the point of this? Like, even if Daenerys returns, she'll still be married. Mm-hmm. And Archibald is like, not if I give King Harzu a little smack with my hammer, because he doesn't want to remember anybody's name, so he just calls him Harzu, because that's what he can remember.
Oh my God.
Which is giving a bit racist, I won't lie.
Yeah.
But his star sucks so bad that I don't really care. Specifically in his case, you know?
Oh my God. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Quentin's like getting frustrated with them. Like, they don't get the point. The road leads through her, not to her. Daenerys is the means to the prize, not the prize itself. I don't know how Daenerys would feel about him thinking this, first off.
Yeah.
And then he's remembering the conversation, or rather selective phrases from their conversation. The dragon has 3 heads, she said to me. My marriage need not be the end of all your hopes, she said. I know why you are here, for fire and blood. This is when she took him down to meet the dragons, because she was like, let's test to see if this guy is anything at all. And she was very sorely disappointed. Yeah. But somehow from that interaction, Quentin has gotten, like, she encouraged me to capture the fire and blood.
Literally, he's like, oh, she gets why I'm here. She gets that I'm here for fire and blood. She's basically saying, like, oh, sorry, I can't marry you right now, but don't worry. Like, that's basically what he took from that interaction, which is so funny, like, having seen it from Dany's head, and then now, you know, from his side. But I also think, like, what's it called? The means to the prize, not the prize itself. My marriage need not be the end of all your hopes. Oh my God, wait, what was I gonna say? Wait, I had a good thought. Fuck. Wait, hold. Okay, maybe it'll... Oh, what I was gonna say is, we saw how he reacted with the dragons, right? Like, he was like, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So first of all that, right? And then even earlier in this chapter, you know what he says? He's like when they're talking about how Hargaz was, like, brave to face the dragon and try to kill it, he's like, he was brave. Would I have the courage to face that monster with nothing but a spear? So first, you've already shown that you were afraid, and in the moment you couldn't even hide the fear in front of the lady who, like, these are her pets. Like, that's not really how you got on her good side, you know? And also prove that you're worthy of marrying her and marrying into the dragon family. You can't be afraid of dragons, you know? And then he's like, to face that monster, whatever. But then he somehow is still, like, oh, I'm gonna be chill with the dragon. Like, and now he's like, you gotta steal this dragon for me?
Very, way back in the day, another Daenerys married a Dornish person, and therefore I have dragon blood.
Exactly that. And then number 4, he's like, let me steal this dragon. I'm like, these things are so, like, incongruent. Like, you can't stand there and be... I'm like, Quentin, sweetie.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do after
really
you steal the dragon?
He did not get what that interaction was and what the result of that interaction was.
Yes.
He has such selective memory. Or this is the entirety of his memory, but he just wasn't picking up on the vibes when they were happening.
It's like, very like toxic optimism going on, where it's like, this is not helping you, King. But I will say, even if it ends up biting Quentin in the ass, if this ends up saving her
literally, because a dragon can bite in the ass.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my god, that would be so funny. Yeah, but I feel like even if that ends up happening, like, I feel like if the dragons end up safe, like, that's still a win. So I'm like, you know what, Quentin? Go off doing your foolish things, you know?
Right. Okay. Yeah, Garrus is like, fuck your lineage, the dragons aren't gonna care about your blood, except maybe how it tastes.
Real.
You can't tame a dragon with a history lesson.
They're monsters, not maesters. Quint, is this truly what you want to do? I was like, man.
Also, why, they call him Quint as, like, the nickname. Why add the T? Just call him Quinn. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, it makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'd call him Quinny. I'd be like, hey, Quinny.
Yeah, and then Quentin's like, oh, but what about the people that died for this? What meaning will their deaths have? Mm-hmm. And, who is it?
I think it is Garrus.
Yeah, Garrus is like, men's lives have meaning, not their deaths, which I thought was a very impactful response in this. Like, they are dead. We have our lives left. Let's, like, make something of them.
Yeah.
And, like, they have very different ideas, obviously, about what that means. But yeah. He's just adamant. He's like, I got this. Don't you worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they finally get to the door. They knock on it, and they get let in. And from the outside, it just looked like one little, like, tiny house, but really it's all the houses on the street are connected, and it's one big hall.
Which is so cool.
And they get greeted by Zarina. This is the woman who tried to buy Jorah, because she, like...
Oh, right.
She, like, forces her slaves to fight in the pits.
Right.
And just, like, that whole thing.
Right.
So she's here for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So these are, like, all youngish people just willy-nilly inside Marine.
Yeah.
Like, they have no trouble getting in and out, so...
Lovely. That's so great.
Yeah. She gestures them down some stairs, and they go. And then the cellar underground is, like, 3 times the size of the hall that was above. So it's like, it's like it keeps getting bigger and bigger. It looks like a tiny thing, and then it just goes on and on.
No, it's cool.
And there are 4 people there, including the Tattered Prince. 1 too many, as Quentin thinks. And, oh, by the way, this place apparently is Zarina's place. Because the Tattered Prince is like, Zarina's got food as well if you want. It won't kill you. I've found that it's only when the food is tempting that one must beware. Poisoners invariably choose the choicest dishes. So he's both like dissing her food and giving like a how to spot poisons lesson.
Yeah. Which also I was like, we're talking a lot about poisons recently.
Yeah. Did you do the poisons, Tattered Prince?
Yeah, literally. I was like, why are we really, like, harping on this, you know?
Yeah. So, he's there in a disguise. He's just given up his, like, ragged cloak, basically. But he's like, it's easy to blend in this way.
Yeah.
And Quentin's like, you have one too many people. And obviously, Maris isn't a man, so she doesn't count.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's like, it's only one extra person. Besides, gods are not that favorable when they do choose to send you a gift. You gotta seize it, and you said men, so I made sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they sit down, and Quentin's like, "Listen, we had to do our thing. Like, we needed to get here, and you were the only people coming here. So, like,
I'm sorry, but I was doing it.
Yeah.
I was doing it for honor. Like,
yeah, I had a total reason." And the Tattered Prince is like, every turncloak has his tail, and you're not the first to swear me your words, take my coin and run. And then he goes on and on about all the people that have betrayed him. And whoever wants details can read this chapter.
I have a question. Can't they just, like, give the money back and then call it even? Or have
Do they have all the money?
Yeah, I guess but like,
because they had to bribe like Dario and all that.
Right. Oh, okay. Because I was like, when have they like used it for it to go down significantly? But right, they did have to bribe Dario. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But like, I feel like I would have brought that along as a peace offering, like what I had.
Yeah, but but he's like, I'm bringing you dragons. Like that's so much.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Just more talk about who they are, what they do, blah blah blah. And Maris is talking about how Daenerys laughed at him.
And he's also still mad because a lot of his good people who he'd sent to Daenerys as like
are still prisoners.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Maris is bringing up how like Daenerys didn't even pay him any heed. She laughed at him. And he thinks to himself, Daenerys never laughed. And I remember very distinctly her laughing right in his face when he said they call him Frog.
Oh, yeah. But I think he, once again, twisted that as like, she was laughing at Frog, not at me.
Yeah, the queen had always spoken to him gently. I'm like, what about the times when she was like, get the fuck out of here? Like, what is, he's got the Sansa lens. Like,
he wants this to happen so badly, he's just thinking anything.
Yeah. And honestly, me saying what I just said is an insult to Sansa, because that was like Sansa lens book 1, no longer.
Right, yeah. And even Sansa wasn't like, I don't think she was this intense. Like, this feels like a level of delusion that Sansa did not have. Like, maybe Sansa just doesn't
is this
have...
rivaling Cersei's delusions?
Oh, Cersei takes the cake, like, all day, every day.
In a universe in a stratosphere of her own. But
exactly. But it's definitely... I mean, if he keeps this up, like...
Yeah. But he's trying to be like, listen, she couldn't help me out, or I couldn't help her out because she was getting married. And the Tattered Prince is like, yeah, too bad you didn't desert me sooner.
Oh my god, this is what I mean. This chapter was just funny. Like...
Yeah. And they're
like,
talking
at that
about...
point, they're like when the Tattered Prince is like, when they're talking about Yurkas Yunzak, and they're like, "Oh, I already knew he died." Yeah, he stumbled as he tried to flee from the dragon. Then 1,000 of his closest friends stepped on him, which was so funny. Like, unfortunately, I think I like the Tattered Prince. Like, I think he's funny.
I think I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're asking whether, like, the Yunkish main guy has been replaced, and the Tattered Prince, like, they can't decide they're unable to agree. So they've set up this stupid rotating scheme where they have a list of people, and and they've been kind enough to give us a list. Let's consult it. Like,
that's once again, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I must strive to be more studious about consulting it, because he like forgets who's in charge today, and one of his people corrects him and is like, no, actually it's this guy. Wobble Cheeks was yesterday. Today it's the rabbit. I'm so sorry.
My bad. My cat.
Our youngish friends were kind enough to provide us with a chart. I must strive to be more studious about consulting it.
Iconic.
Yeah. And Quentin's being like, so you really, technically, you signed on with the Yurkas, like, but Shadow Prince is like, well, he signed on behalf of Yunkai, so like, really, I should. And also, Quentin's like, but there's peace here now, so you have nowhere to plunder. And they're just trying to they're building up to it,
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Like, how long do you think they're gonna keep paying you? Like, don't you want to get on board with something else?
Yeah, and he's like, totally. People have need of sellswords everywhere. And Quentin's like, well, good. Lucky for you, I have need of you. Dorn will hire you.
Really?
And I'll double whatever they're paying you. And they're like... the Tattered Prince is like, and you'll give us gold, like, right away upon the signing of her contract. And Quentin has to be like, okay, listen, we have some gold in Volantis. It's hanging out in a bank, but I can show you papers. I have papers that show that I have this gold.
I have an IOU paper.
Yeah. Papers, but we will be paid double. Twice as many papers, said Maris.
God, he's an icon. Oh.
Yeah. And so and then the Tattered Prince is like, oh, no. Quentin continues, so we'll pay you the part then, and then we'll pay you the rest in gold, rest in Dorn when we get there, because my dad will keep all my promises. So the Tattered Prince summarizes it. He's like, okay, so if I understand, a proven liar and oathbreaker wishes to contract with us and pay in promises. And all he's offering is double. If you're going to pay in promises, don't you want to, like, promise big?
LOL.
Yeah, men who pay in promises should have at least the sense to promise more. And what do you want for all these promises? And Quentin's like, I need you to help me steal a dragon.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. So this is when he says, and all your promises double. Dragons don't pay, like, double doesn't pay for dragons. Men who want pay in promises should at least have the sense to promise more. And then Quentin's like, okay, fine, I'll triple it if I have to. And the Tattered Prince is like, no. What I want is Pentos.
Dun, dun, dun.
So will Quentin promise him Pentos? Can Quentin promise him Pentos? Can Quentin deliver on his promise of Pentos?
So many good questions. I think it's hard because it's like, let's say, I think Quentin is going to promise him Pentos. Seeing Quentin's sort of relentlessness, and sort of that optimism that he's got going on, and I think delusion is a better word. I'm going to say that from now on. The delusion that he has going on. I think he's going to do it. I don't know if he necessarily can. Like, I think that if, like, as soon as Barristan finds out, or as soon as Danny comes back and you're like, you did fucking what? I think it's gonna be a scandal. But
Will Bearskin even find out?
Good. I don't know. But, like, also, like, if he gets the dragons, that's, like, a pretty big deal, though, like, to be able to say to Dany, like, this is assuming everything succeeds. Like, I'm going way to the end. Like, Dany comes back and finds out about all this shit, right? Like, but, like, but also, he says, I need you to help me steal a dragon. So, they're just gonna leave, like, I don't even think he has a plan. Like, what's his plan? They're gonna leave one dragon there, because they can only get one out? Like, what? But then Dany's gonna be like, why didn't you get both of my dragons, you idiot? Like, if you were gonna negotiate for such a high price, you know what I mean? Like, that's literally probably the biggest thing you can give someone. Like, but also, yeah, so I think it's gonna get complicated, because, like, if he succeeds, like, of course you can be mad at him for making this terrible promise, but, like, also he literally saved one of the only 3 dragons in the world, so that's kind of, like, but the thing that I'm worried about happening isn't that. The thing that I'm worried about is, like, we've promised Pentos and done all this thing, but I think the Tattered Prince has already had an experience with Quentyn where Quentyn did not deliver, right? So I don't think the Tattered Prince is going to agree to this or do this unless there's some sort of, like, Quentyn writes his dad right away or something. Like, we get something that makes it official, and then it'll be, and, like, I think that, what's his name? The Tattered Prince has, like, more negotiating power right now than Quentyn.
Yeah, but, okay.
Like, I think that Quentin's gonna get screwed over.
Doran would make sense if he were being paid in gold. Yeah. You know, write him, like, give us, you know, this much gold even if I die or whatever, right? Like, yeah. But Pentos, how is Doran gonna give him Pentos? The only way that anybody could give him Pentos is if they have, for example, dragons that can conquer Pentos.
Yeah. Yeah, but...
So how would writing Doran help?
Not that would help, but, like, we don't... Okay. The only person we know so far who can, like, ride a dragon is Dany. Dany's not here right now. Like, I don't know what else Quentyn... Like, I'm not saying that's what he should do.
You don't think at all that Quentyn can control a dragon?
I don't know if I have that much hope in him. I mean, sure, he can try. I genuinely didn't even consider that. Well, I guess he does have the dragon's blood, but, like, man, he saw the dragon and he squirmed. And then he's been calling them monsters. Like, I just don't think he's gonna be able to go up to the dragon and the dragon's gonna be like, yeah. And you know how the way that Dany had to control Drogon was literally by, like, using the whip immediately and, like, showing, like, asserting this dominance and showing, like, I am, like, your owner. I'm, like, the dragon. I am the dragon, you know? Like, I just don't see Quentyn. So
you have no faith. Like, this is just gonna go badly.
That's, like...
How badly is it gonna go?
How badly? I don't think he's gonna die, but, like, he could get seriously injured.
Okay.
Like, I feel like... But that's what also makes it...
But they still end up somehow saving a dragon or two? How does that happen?
I don't know. But I have hope. I don't know exactly how it happens. Like, maybe... You know what I genuinely want? And I'm hoping for?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like... Because you know how... Okay, because Tyrion's allied with... Oh my god, what's his name? Brown Ben Plum.
Yeah.
Brown Ben Plum. And then now we kind of, sort of, maybe have this alliance happening with Quentyn and the Tattered Prince. I feel like maybe, like, honestly, I feel like Tyrion could maybe ride a dragon.
He is a secret Targaryen.
Because you know how Tyrion is now going to be working together with Brown Ben Plum? And then, yes. Bro, there's so many names. And then Quentyn is going to be working with the Tattered Prince. So, and I know that those are, like, different sellsword companies, it's different allegiances, whatever. But, you know... Like I said, I think Brown Ben Plum wanted always to kind of be on, like, Dany's side. And then I think with, and then I think the Tattered Prince is willing to do what it takes to get Pentos, and if that means work, like, I think that would be fine. It's not like this is Bloodbeard we have to try and ally with, who just wants, like, destruction and plunder and whatever.
Did you just say ally with?
Yeah, ally with. What?
Okay, sorry, when you said ally, I saw, like Alley.
Oh, yeah. You were like, what
And-
alley?
Like, I know they just went down a bunch of alleys to get to this place that they're at.
Yeah, ally, whatever, you know? What was I saying? Bro, I can't
Ally.
keep reading this.
They're gonna be allied and win the day.
Yes, yeah. So I think that'll be
But how
cool.
does that
But Kate,
translate to Tyrion?
literally, let me get back to my train of thought, okay? Okay, so, and I think Brown Ben Plum, like, being good with dragons, that could also help, and Tyrion knows a lot about dragons, like, he's read, so I think, like, they're gonna be able to do it more successfully than, like, if, like, let's say Hisdar holds his, like, royal meeting court, or not court, he already held a court, he holds his, like, council meeting, and then, like, they try to go pull some shit, you know? Like, I think that, like, there's a higher chance of the dragons responding to somebody that they've already sort of responded to and they're familiar with, plus somebody
so that
who knows
indicates
a lot about
that Brown Ben Plum will be riding a dragon.
He could, like, if we wanted to, and I guess that would be a good way to save both of the dragons rather than just one. Yeah, so anyway, I'm hoping that that's sort of the way that the cookie crumbles, not, like, why you can't keep laughing at the things that I say, okay?
So, how? Sometimes I can't control it. Like, how do you?
No, it's okay. But yeah, I think I'm hoping that, because if we're relying on Quentyn or the Tattered Prince, I don't think that either of them are going to be able to do it, you know? And I'm also kind of thinking, like, I guess the thing that I'm thinking about with the Tattered Prince is, like, is he just kind of like, if this works, it works. If it doesn't, no harm, no foul. Like, I can just deny it, whatever. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Because obviously he doesn't really trust Quentyn. So I'm just like, and that's
It's
also
just
why I
another
was
bet
thinking
he
maybe
can hedge.
Yeah, that's true. And that's also why I was thinking, like, maybe he could, like, maybe Quentyn could, like, write to his dad, because then he could be like, oh, to get your trust, I'll give you money too. Let me write to my dad. Like maybe there's something there. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe Tattered Prince is just like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, you know? But I just was kind of like, how do you know if this is gonna, you know, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of worried, because with Quentyn, I'm just, unless he allies with those other people, if he doesn't do that, I just don't see how he just doesn't, like, end up getting played or something. And that's if they're even successful. Either he just dies, or they get their mission, but then he gets played.
Wouldn't, like, it be the perfect, like, end to his story, which is kind of dragged on, and we've, like, shit on him a lot, that he, like, eventually, you know, conquers a dragon and becomes a dragon rider?
Yeah, that would be great for him. I don't know.
Not for you. Not for the reader.
No, that would be great for him. I just don't really see that happening. And I think that, like, there's so many...
We have made you so jaded with this series.
No, like, honestly, if he does, like, genuinely good for him. Sarcastic tone gone, you know? But I think that, like, there's just so many other people who are gonna take it out from under him, you know? Like, even, like, let's say they do all the things, they get the dragon. Who's to stop Victarion from showing up at that exact moment? Or, like, there's just so many things that could happen that I don't know, you know? Yeah, so that's kind of what I think about this plan.
So that's the dragon story. What about Barristan? I know we, like, didn't... So he's gonna be plotting to, like, dethrone Hisdar in the meantime, right?
Yes.
And they're gonna try to, like, go fight the Yunkai while they're still unprepared.
Yeah.
And then apparently this dragon stealing scheme is happening in the background. How is it all gonna mesh?
Oh, I don't even know. There's so much going on. It's like so hard for me to conceptualize. But I feel like, well, we know with Barristan.
For you and George both.
Yeah, no wonder George isn't finishing this. He's taken it all to this point where it's like it is so intricate, it's hard to go anywhere. Because every single thing that any of these characters can do has big consequences, like, especially because all of the stories are so, they weave in and out of each other now. So it really is, like, more than any other book, the consequences are bigger for even small things, you know? So anyway, yeah, no, totally feel for you, George. Like, but also please just do the thing. But I think that, like, wait, what did you ask me? Oh, how's it all gonna work? Okay, I think, well, with Barristan's plan, the thing, he was like, if all goes well, we're getting things moving by the end of the day. Or he was like, things are gonna happen.
Not end of the day. In a few days is what he said.
Really? Oh,
he said,
yeah,
if
in a
all
few more days,
if
the gods smile down on them. Yes, okay. Wow, okay, I was feeling optimistic. Never mind. I keep trying to rush things along. I'm like...
I mean, Quentin's thing also, like, doesn't have a timeline attached. Like, they didn't say it's gonna take us 3 days to prepare and that's when we'll do it. Like, you know, like, none of that. We didn't get a timeline.
Yeah, I guess I was just kind of hoping for one. But I think... So at the very least, I think that Barristan has... Who was Barristan gonna go talk to? Grey Worm? So I think he's talked to Grey Worm, and from these little, like, this is gonna happen if all goes according to plan. So I think the meeting with Grey Worm went well, so they were able to figure out, like, what sorts of things they're gonna do to, like, get to the Yunkish. You know, like, they figured out their battle strategy, or, like, just their strategy, whatever. So I think that'll be... So, sorry, I'm trying to think out loud. So, if that starts working, like, they kind of, like, take the Yunkish, like, lords and whatever by surprise, and then Quentin and their plan is probably to, like... But the thing with a dragon is, like, you can't really sneak away a dragon, so are they gonna just, like, wreak havoc and then get in there while things are, like, going on? Are they gonna try and sneak in, but then on the way out, it can be loud? Are they gonna try and sneak in and out a dragon? Like, what does he think? But I guess if, like... I guess the only way my brain's kind of thinking about it right now is if, like, Barristan starts doing his thing, like, we kind of, like, the Yunkish are going through all this trouble, they're trying to get their bearings while they're being attacked, and, like, they've lost so many fighters and so many of their, like, trained people. If, like... And also, I think the Tattered Prince seems to kind of be in the know about certain things, so maybe if, like, he hears rumblings of something, like, that Quentin and the Tattered Prince will know to, like, use the Barristan stuff as a distraction, or maybe by then the Volantis fleet will be here, and that'll kind of be the perfect distraction, because everybody's busy, like, fighting and doing stuff, and then that'll also mean that the Yunkish have less people, because maybe the Tattered Prince is using, like, his whole sellsword company to,
like, they're
do the
otherwise
other stuff.
occupied.
Yeah, so I guess that could be good, because then we have, like, maybe Volantis and Yunkai can take out each other, and then Marine can be spared some of the things. But then also, we don't necessarily want that, because Hizdar and all of them. So it's just hard, but I'm hoping that it works out in our favor.
Aren't you the optimist? Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's move on. I think we have wrung this cat dry. I don't know why I said cat.
This cat dry. Oh, speaking of, Bloodbeard's company is Company of the Cat.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, but let's move on to Griff.
Yes, let me get there. So, they're taking the castle. They've got bowmen who are not useless to... he's got the like same bias. I think we saw it from Jamie at one point, which is like archers are just lazy fighters or some like stupid thing. He's like, no, I have learned in my years of exile that they have their place and value.
Come on, buddy. Yeah, and then every time they're like succeeding, he's like, wow, they're doing it so efficiently. It's like, it's almost like your way is not necessarily the best way, you know?
Yeah. They're under Balak's command, and there's 10 companies of 100 each. And on the voyage over, Connington insisted that they be split across the ships in case they, all get. Some of the ships go vamoose, Yeah. And so a bunch of them have made it here, and they really only need like a few to do this. And he's like, this might get 100 of our people killed, but really their losses are only 4 people. I mean, really bad, sucks for those 4 people, but overall not a huge hit to the forces. And their forces, speaking of which, are kind of scattered because not all the ships have arrived. They got waylaid by the storms. Am I using that term correctly? Who cares? And they're able to do a little bit more of that Macbeth sneak it up to the castle under the guise of the trees thing.
Yeah.
Except it's just like real trees, not like fake trees.
Yeah.
And like the guards dump oil on them, but they didn't have enough time to like heat up the oil, so the buckets cause more damage than their contents.
Yeah.
And then as they're fighting the Golden Company, people are shouting a griffin, which is the battle cry of House Connington, so that leaves the defenders even more confused.
Literally.
And it's over within minutes.
Yeah, things are like really going, other than, the lost ships and the elephants that hairy guy keeps harping on. Other than that, things seem to be going in their favor. Yeah,
and the archers are being used to shoot down any ravens that are being sent. So, they shoot down every bird, and then when they take over the castle, they make sure no more messages. He tells Sir Franklin Flowers, and the next thing to come flying from the Maester's tower was the Maester. So I guess that's another death we didn't put on our list.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Like, it's funny, but it's also not funny.
Rip.
The way his arms were flapping, he might have been mistaken for another bird.
Rip. Oh my god.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, we've got the castle. Don't kill anybody who doesn't really want to be killed.
Yeah.
If we're gonna win the Stormlands, we have to do it, but without killing everybody.
Exactly.
And then he's also like, make sure you look here, here, and here. There's all these hidey holes and secret passages, which he knows about because this is his castle. So
yes. Oh, that's cool. I love a secret passage.
Nice. Yeah, who doesn't? And Halden, the half maester, is going to take charge of the rookery, and they're going to send out messages tonight. Okay, now my brain immediately had questions. I'm like, are the ravens labeled? Do they have collars? How do you know which raven goes to which place? Like, if you're not the maester who always interacts with them,
right? Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense if they were in cages that were labeled, but
logistics.
I want to see it. I just want to see it. Like, is that so much to ask? Yeah. And after the win, he's reflecting on it. He's like, okay, this is, it's a strong but small castle. And while we stay here, we're going to seem small as well. But there's another castle nearby, vastly larger and impregnable. If we take that, the realm will shake.
Yes.
Did you have any ideas about?
Because I looked at the map.
No, okay.
But I looked at the no. I looked at the map when the chapter started, and I was like, "Where are you?" So
No, that's good.
And I had
I'm just glad you're looking at maps.
Yeah, no, because I had looked at, because I was like, I have no idea where they are. So I looked at the map, and then I looked at the map and I was like, oh my god, I feel like they're gonna attack Storm's End. And then I started, and he was like, we're gonna go to Storm's End. And I was like, wait, I ate. Like,
Yeah. And then he's like, I'm gonna go see my dad
leave me
under
alone.
the sept. But instead he goes up to the roof and he's, he's got these like steps memorized because he's come up 100 times with his Lord Father and won.
Only
one with Rhaegar Targaryen.
Why did Why did George R. R. Martin bracket and exclaim that? Like,
it's the fangirl in John that's showing up here,
That's so funny. Oh my god. No, I loved that. I was like, especially because I'm not really used to that from his style of writing. Like, it popped out at me.
Yeah, he doesn't use the parentheses very often, but he does use it sometimes.
Especially like a parentheses and an exclamation mark.
Yeah, this is I think the sole occasion for that.
Yeah, I feel like he does not.
I mean, this is like if I hadn't already gotten you to the he gay for Rhaegar, like I think this would have done it. I hope.
Yes,
I hope.
Course.
I don't know. You have read some very obvious things before, and
also,
not picked up on it.
No. In my defense, I did get to he gay for Rhaegar.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. You did not get me there. I was there.
I had to ask a lot of questions.
Bro, I just want sometimes I don't say the thing. But I was still thinking the thing.
All right, just say the things. It's a podcast. It's not a think cast. No, it's a speak cast.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Prince Rhaegar was returning from Dorne, and he and his escort had lingered here a fortnight. And, he was so young then, and I was younger. Boys, the both of us. At the welcoming feast, the prince had taken up his silver-stringed harp and played for them. A song of love and doom, John Connington recalled. Anyway. Blah, blah. So he's basically just, reminiscing about the good old days. And and then he remembers how the prince was like, it's your father's lands are so beautiful, and he remembers boasting like, one day they're gonna be mine, as if that could impress a prince who was heir to the entire realm.
Oh my god.
But I mean, it's fine.
No,
it's
sweet. It's sweet.
I rose too high, loved too hard, dared too much. I tried to grasp a star, overreached and fell.
Oh my god.
And then we go back to the Battle of the Bells.
Oh my god.
This guy.
Hey.
I think we've already beat this horse too. Why do I keep you? Why am I ringing out cats and beating horses?
The animal abuse
today? Honestly, I'm appalled at myself. I don't even blame you.
That's so funny. The animal abuse coming from this strictly vegetarians podcast is like so bad. Like,
I'm sorry, but basically we have talked about this a lot. So let's move on. We already know the story of the Battle of the Bells, right? You know it, we know it, everybody knows it.
Although I did need this reminder, so I'm glad that I got it.
Okay, fine.
But also, I rose too high, loved too hard, dared too much. I tried to grasp a star, overreached and fell. I feel like that is also just like their romance too. Like it's both for
I thought that is more of what that is than
I thought that too, but then he tries to like cover it up by chiming into the story, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, homie, let's be real. This is the most poetic shit I've ever read. Of course it's about
the only reason he accepted the handship would have been to be like, I can help Rhaegar,
Exactly. And like, I'll be there nearby instead of back here,
Yeah. And then he comes back to the present and he's like, okay, the guy who's in charge right now, Red Ronnet Connington, if you remember. What do you remember?
Red Run at Connington. Wasn't this the, like, Brienne guy?
Yeah, guy who was super rude to Brienne.
Yes, yeah.
And then Jaime taught him a little bit of a lesson, and it was very satisfying. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but he's off fighting in the Riverlands, and John's like, that's good, because in my experience, men would fight for things they felt were theirs, even when they'd gained by theft. You know, he's like, Ronet's sire had been quick to take advantage of his lord cousin's downfall, but his son had been a child at the time, so he's not to blame. But even like the lands were going to go to somebody anyway. You had lost them. It's not theft, really. I don't agree with him that it's theft.
Yeah, I think he just is like, they were mine and I never should have lost them. They're still rightfully mine. Like, I'm still alive. Like, yeah, I think he thinks it's moral when it's really just he wants them back, you know? Like, he's making it like a moral, not a moral failure, but like an immoral thing for him to have done, but it's like, no, it was just kind of a neutral thing that he did.
Yeah, because like they were gonna go to somebody else that was not a Connington at all, or like you know, like it makes sense that his cousin would be like, actually, I had nothing to do with my cousin's things. Can I have the lands or the castle at least?
Yeah, but I think he's just thinking of it as like, you couldn't wait to get rid of me, huh? So you could get it. Like, I think you have resentment when you've had to be exiled for so long, you know?
Yeah. And then he goes back to the Battle of the Bells, where he wanted to prove himself worthy of that trust of Rhaegar's love, and how he did everything that any man could do and searched, you know, every house, everything. And he remembers telling Miles Toyne, the Blackheart, the story on the first night of his exile, or like during the first years of his exile. And Miles was like, it's not the most every man could do. Tywin wouldn't have bothered with a search. He would have burnt the town to the ground and everybody living in it. And when Ned and John Arryn showed up, he would have offered them pardons and they would have gladly taken them. And I think that is true. But also we have like, you know, we've talked a lot about how like Tywin's way is not really
it's not
like, it's efficient, but it's not effective necessarily.
It wouldn't have it would have definitely secured him the victory and secured him this like reputation, but he even says, he's like, I wanted, what does he say? He has I wanted the glory of staying Robert in single combat, and I didn't want the name of Butcher. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, you know? Like, I do think he's definitely blaming himself a lot more here than he needs to. Like, I think he's like, oh, I used to not blame myself. I used to think I'd done everything right. But then this guy said this to me, and now I'm kind of not sure. I'm like, no, you were right. It's okay. We don't have to listen to everyone, you know? Like, not everyone who opens their mouth is right, you know? Like,
but it is the biggest regret of his life. So he's going to, like,
of course,
think about
he's
it
gonna,
as he very obviously does.
I have a question though. There's a thing that we encountered recently, and we have so many characters that everything blends together. And I thought it was related to John Connington, but maybe it's not. Where like there was a character thinking about how they should have killed the guy when they had the chance, and he was hiding, and things wouldn't have gotten so bad if I had just killed the guy. I don't know if this was a Jaime thought at one point.
When they were hiding, that's Robert. Like,
maybe it wasn't hiding, but it was like I don't know. Something was coming back to me, but it wasn't quite like salient enough for me to grab. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll think on it.
Then, like, everybody's like, I should have killed you when I had the chance. Like, that happens, like, every chapter, though.
Yeah, but it was, like, a very specific...
Like, Dario's like, I should have killed you, Quentin, when I had the chance, or, like...
No. It was, like, a while ago, sort of. It was, like, a... Yeah.
You cannot expect me to come find this in the
that's okay.
depths of your brain.
That's okay. I just thought if it brought up anything familiar. Yeah. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, let me know. Because this is, like, very recent. Like the last 10 chapters or something, I think. But anyway, yeah, maybe it'll come back to me.
Now I want to, like, see the 10 chapters.
It was a Barristan chapter.
We've only had one Barristan chapter.
I feel like there was something in the first Barristan chapter. No, we've had 2. This is our second one.
Yeah, I mean,
Right,
like, before this, we only
I
had
think
one.
in the first Barristan chapter, I might be completely misconstruing the details. Like, maybe I'm mixing it up with the Robert story, like the guy wasn't hiding or something.
Who should have killed who?
Oh, I remember. I think Barristan was like, if I'd let that other guy kill Eris,
oh, not saved Eris from the...
Yes.
Okay.
What was it? What was that?
It was in Duskendale when Eris was kidnapped and the guy was threatening to kill him, and Barristan and Tywin was gonna, like, you know, lay siege or like burst in the place, and that would have definitely killed Eris. So, but instead Barristan the night before snuck in and rescued the king.
Right.
But he's like, I should have just let Tywin attack, and then Eris would have been killed then, and Rhaegar would have been king.
Thank you. Okay, yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of. And wait, that actually does kind of tie in, because that's a perfect example of the, like Tywin would have killed everybody, but then also Eris would have been dead too. You know, so Tywin's way is not always the best way. Like how what's his name, Miles told Connington, like, oh, you should have just killed everybody.
But, like, yeah, it's not the best way, but it would have been the best for the world.
Yeah, but, like, for the people on his side. Putting aside the fact that, like, Eris was a terrible, evil guy.
But also, I think Tywin at that point was kind of pissed at Eris, so, like, he wanted Eris dead a little bit, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean is, like, right, I get what you mean, but still, like, that was traditional Tywin way. So, like, regardless of the reasons, like, doing what he traditionally would have done would have ended up biting, like, the Targaryen side in the ass, you know? And then, same thing here, it's like, sure, I could have just killed everyone, but I didn't necessarily want to do it that way, because it doesn't always work. Yeah, anyway.
Okay, so, they have gathered everybody from the castle. Among the prisoners are Ronet's younger brother Raymond, his sister Elaine, and his natural son, a fierce red-haired boy called Ronald Storm. Mm-hmm. And I think it's Ronald who tries to, like, put up a fight. Aww. And he's like, shut up, I'm not gonna do you any harm unless Ronet proves it utter fool. Just go hang out in that tower over there.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, ouch.
You're under house arrest.
Basically.
And then he's looking at everybody else, and, like, there's only a couple people left from back in his time. Mm-hmm. But most of them are like, who are you?
Oh my god.
And he's like, listen, I'm your rightful lord. Mm-hmm. Just pledge me your allegiance and no one has to die. And then they have, like, the whole, like, everybody has to come kneel and swear their allegiance thing. And no one tries to fight, so no one dies. Mm-hmm. Great. And then he's having dinner, and his, like, relatives are, like, his captive relatives are also there. Mm-hmm. And he's like, the children were of his blood, and he felt that he should know them. But when the bastard boy announced, my father's going to kill you, he decided that his knowledge was sufficient.
Valid.
So
valid. Oh my god.
I feel like it's also George telling us, like, don't worry about these people anymore. Like, they're just, let's move on from them.
Oh my god.
And then after dinner, he gathers all his people. No, he doesn't gather his people yet. He goes to see the Half-Maester. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to take account of who's where, when, and, like,
where are all our people,
Halden has learned. Yeah, exactly. So 10,000 men had sailed from Wallentheris. Mm-hmm. Not quite half the number had turned up thus far on Westeros.
Wow.
At or near their intended landing site. So that like the other half are like, some might be in the Stepstones, some might have landed like elsewhere, some might be just gone for good.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah. And John Connington's like, I've got friends around. Let me just, I'm going to send some letters and I'm sure people will come fight for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and he also feels like more emboldened with all of this because the only Baratheon brother still alive is Stannis, and he's like, people don't exactly flock to Stannis. Like, he doesn't have that charisma.
And he's way off in the north, so who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
He's not a problem for now.
Yeah.
So his force, he's here at Griffin's Roost, and they've taken that over, but they're also sent people over to take over Crow's Nest, Rain House, and then the last quarter of their force is off at camp at their landing site, and Aegon is there too at this moment.
My God.
And there's no elephants that have arrived in any of the current ships.
Yeah.
But we've by the end of the chapter, as Aegon comes up, there's like elephants there. So like clearly some of the elephants arrived.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, but Connington's like, even if we don't have any elephants, we're gonna go ahead with our plan because they're not gonna be immediately useful to us. It's like, our strength is in surprise and like doing it right away.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
And then he asks Halden all the news in Westeros.
Oh my God.
And Halden's like, oh yeah, the Lannisters have a lot of enemies and very few friends. And Mace Tyrell has abandoned his siege of Storm's End to go save his daughter. And Stannis is off fighting in the north. And no one even talks about the Vale, which means they haven't taken any part in this.
That's so funny.
But Doran's younger son has been married to Marcella, which means they could be allied with the Lannisters, but they do have an army in the Bone Way and another in the Prince's Pass just waiting. Who could they be waiting for?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Connington's like, okay, we're going to write to Doran because we got to let him know that his sister's son is alive and has come home to claim his father's throne. And yeah. And then they're talking about like, okay, people might want to join us, but what are we going to offer them? Like, we have no dragons.
Yeah.
We need gold and land, but gold and land are probably going to be the things that the Golden Company people want for themselves because, they want the lands they lost. And then Halden's like, well, we can marry Aegon. Marriage alliance is something. And John's like, I don't know. Daenerys could still come over. We need to save him for her,
Yeah.
And then Halden's like, well, I guess there's somebody else we could marry.
Yeah.
And he suggests John Connington.
Yeah.
And John, like, just stares at him and he just says, I think not.
Yeah.
And then, like, that's the end of the conversation.
Yeah, and he's like, this guy makes me so mad sometimes. And that's kind of it. Yeah.
Okay. When he says, I think not, he's thinking, death is creeping up my arm. No man must ever know, nor any wife. Okay. He has no right to be mad at Halden. It's a very reasonable suggestion.
Yeah.
2, does he just make a marriage alliance? Like, if you die or like call it off later, you can deal with the consequences later. Don't just dismiss it outright.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, also, he's gay. He may not want to marry. Like, but like, can you just pretend like, yeah, it's a strategic move. Let's think about it. Like,
right. Yeah. Like, not dismiss your own guy who's just trying to help you so rudely.
Yeah.
The thing I was thinking about here too that he brings up is that like, first of all, like Aegon, we're already hoping will be able to marry Daenerys, so that's kind of off the market. And then we can't really like promise people like gold or land because we don't really have any to promise, but then even if eventually we end up leading whatever and we can promise things, like the people, like the Golden Company people are going to want first choice because they're right in here with us.
Yeah.
So I just kind of was, and then reminded me, I was like, oh my god, there's so many Golden Company people too, and like they have their own desires and stuff that they want, and I just was anticipating like future conflict, and I was like, you know?
Yeah.
But then I was gonna say that, and then yeah, that was it. The only other thing was he's like, oh, John Connington remembered Prince Rhaegar's wedding all too well. Elia was never worthy of him. And it was this, I was like, oh my god. On one hand, I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. Like, you're so jealous. I get it. It's valid. But also, I was like, don't blame her, you know? She did what she could. She's not the reason y'all couldn't get married, you know? Like, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Let the dead girl rest, please. Was basically my thoughts on that.
So then that's the end of the night. He wakes up the next day having, slept in his like Lord Father's room or whatever. Like, or in the Lord's room. Sorry. That had been his father once, but it was also yours at one point. So why do we always kind of comment that it was once your dad's?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying, but he asks for breakfast and he asks for the worst wine in the cellar, and the servant is like, the worst, and he's like, yup. And it's worse because he needs to soak his wound, his grayscale wound, in vinegar, but he can't ask for vinegar without giving it away, so he asks for the worst wine because he doesn't want to waste the good wine.
Oh my god, this man.
Yeah. And the current progress is that the nails on all 4 fingers are black. Not on his thumb, though. On the middle finger, the gray had crept up past the second knuckle.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh my god.
Yeah, he's like, should I hack off my fingers? But it's going to be hard to explain. And I can't let people know that I have grayscale because they won't follow me. What do you think about this choice of his to keep the secret and not to treat it in any real way?
Definitely bad. You're gonna die. But it's the choice he's making, so I've come to terms with it.
No, but like, do you think he should tell somebody? Should he hack off his fingers and just deal with it? I think he should hack off his fingers like right after a battle and be like, it happened in the heat of battle.
That would be smart. I also think that because I think at the end of the chapter, we finally catch up with like Lady Lamore is there. So I would say like, confide in her, and then I would also probably tell young Griff and like just kind of leave it there, like, just, or maybe even if you want to tell like the half-maester, like, just
also like, if you're like here's my like here's what I think might happen is he might infect Aegon, and then like all their hopes and dreams will just crumble into Greystone.
I guess I was hoping for the Dany argument where she was like, I'm a dragon, I can't get grayscale.
Right.
I was kind of hoping for that for him.
Okay. Remind me of this at the end of this episode, okay?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Oh, is the theory that he's not actually who he is? Or who we...
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, sorry.
So it's like a double... Sorry, not to... We can go back to... But is it like a double... Because I have sometimes thought that, but then I was like, is that a weird thing to say out loud? Because they've... Okay, cool. Because when you said that, I was like, why would that be relevant? Because then maybe if Dany's right about
folks, you should know I gave Harmut the heads up that I have a theory to talk about at the end of this chapter.
Yes, yeah. Okay, cool. Wait, we'll get back to that. Okay, cool. But yes. Yeah, I will remind you.
Blah, blah, blah. That later that day, they hold a council. They have news that Mark Mandrake, one of the, commanders, his party got on shore, but they were put on shore at Estermont, which is like not where they needed or wanted to be. But the Volantines are just like too eager to get rid of them, so they're just dropping them anywhere. And and Mandrake didn't have any archers with him, so Greenstone, the place on Estermont, probably got off some ravens before they lost.
And maybe that's how, because you know how we heard about these ships landing and stuff?
Yeah.
Right.
This is like in Cersei's chapter, Kevin is telling her how like Stannis has got self swords in the in the Stormlands or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Connaughton isn't super worried about it because, like, he had instructed everybody to not show any banners of any kind. So all people could know is, like, there's just, like, random bandits or something attacking, you know?
Right.
And the
Yeah.
more contradictory reports that reach King's Landing, the better for them.
Of course. Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so he's like, okay, tell Mandrake to leave a small garrison behind and get everybody over here right now and bring all the captives.
Yeah.
Because House Estermont has blood ties to both kings, as it happens, so they'll make good hostages.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, and then he's like, okay, it's time to go bring Aegon here. And people are asking him, oh, is it time to, you know, crown him, raise his banner, all of that. And Connaughton's like, no, not yet. We can't let them know. I'm gonna write to Tommen and say, look, I'm back and I'm sorry. Can I have my lands back, please?
Yeah.
And just let them stew on that for a bit. We don't have to give away our game.
Right.
And so they're like, okay, we've got about 4 castles now. What's the next plan? And obviously, Harry Strickland, the not so courageous, is obviously like, we just gotta wait. We were not ready. Half our strength is still at sea. And Connaughton's like, no, we're gonna take Storm's End and we are gonna take it right away. Otherwise, it's no good. And, you know, people are like, blah, 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 we should wait, blah, blah, blah. And eventually it's like, John's like, no, we'll wait, but just as long as it takes to get prepared. No longer. So this is happening in 10 days.
Yeah, we're just going to get prepared. We're going to see who's on our side, gather our troops. I'm going to lie to Tommen and be like, hey. And now, oh my god, the thing I love about how many POVs we have in this chapter is, like, seeing all the consequences happen right away. You know, it's like
POVs we have in this chapter.
Sorry, in this book. Like, with book 4 and 5 being the way that they are, like, I feel like the pacing of stories sometimes feels nicer.
Falls by the wayside, yeah.
Well, not quite. Like, it just is, like, I think it's just, like, it's easier to stay, it's easier to, like, mentally stay in the same space with the characters because, like, the consequences of their actions are happening right there, you know?
You said book 4 and 5.
Yeah, both books.
But in book 4, we don't see the consequences of several actions because we don't have half of the POVs.
But with book 4, it was like we would see Cersei, like, every few days. Like, we would see Cersei, like, every other time. So then it would be like, oh, okay, she did that. Because you know how in, like,
but now we're at a point in book 5 where we have everybody.
Yeah. But I feel like we're still, like, every couple of chapters, we see what's going on with Dany. Like, a lot of these people are in the same places. So then it still, like, gives us it gives us a well-rounded
I just think I got thrown off by you lumping book 4 and 5 together.
Because with book 4, it was so, like, there were only a specific number of characters, and they were repeated over and over, and we just got to keep seeing their arc regularly.
They have good pacing, but for different reasons then.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. But then in book 5, it's just like all of the things.
I think you're forgetting the beginning of book 5, like the first half of book 5.
I'm forgetting the first half of book 5. You think?
Yeah, and how slow things were.
Okay, well that's fine.
Okay, all right. Can we move on?
Sure.
All right. So Aegon is here, and with him come elephants and Lady Lemore back in her robes of a septa. Once again, Lady Lemore. And Sir Raleigh Duckfield in a snow white cloak, because he has been named as the first Kingsguard to Aegon.
Oh my god.
And Griff tried to tell Aegon not to do this, but he was like, he's willing to die for me and that's all I want. But he's the only Kingsguard that has been appointed. Honestly, I'm okay with this. Duck is cool, I think.
Yeah. Griff seems to not be cool with it, and he's also like, I don't like this sudden change in attitude. He's gone from young Griff to Prince Aegon Targaryen.
Yeah. Prince Aegon Targaryen was not near as biddable as the young as the boy young Griff had been.
Yeah.
Because when he's like, I'll see him in my rooms, it takes like an hour before he shows up. And then when he shows up, first off, Connington is like looking at him. He remembers Rhaegar, you know?
Yeah.
But he's like, this guy doesn't have the same purple eyes, or they are not as dark as his dad's were or whatever. And yeah, so he's like, okay, I just talked to Harry Strickland about your plan, and he tried to talk me out of it, but I like it. The only change I want to make is that I am gonna lead the attack. The end of chapter. I know, folks, I'm just gonna I know this was a very like staggered retelling of these chapters, but just deal with it for today and every other day. First off, can I say Westeros is so like primed for a conquering right now that I'm like bitter that they get to take advantage of it, and that Daddy still has her ass over in Marine or wherever and like is missing out on this prime opportunity.
It literally is like
I'm worried that they're gonna fuck up the conquest, and then Daenerys is gonna have to come up in here, and people aren't gonna be receptive to her because they've all just recently had a bad experience with a Targaryen.
Totally. I feel that way too. Like, especially like they landed here and they were able to do the Griffin's Roost stuff. They were able to like it just, and he was able to get the Golden Company, and the Golden Company is so like they are so like, oh my god, what's the word when you're like, they're like clinical fighters. Do you know what I mean? Like they're so good at it.
They're very organized, yeah.
Yeah, and all the things, and like it just all seems to be working out perfectly for them. So what are you doing?
Sorry. There's like somehow, because of like the setting, like the sun is gone, the way the light is there's like a spotlight on my hand, so I feel like I need to make gestures with my hand.
I thought you were trying to say something to me and I could not understand because your hand was like, I was like, I don't know what language you are speaking.
Just ignore it.
Okay. I thought you were saying something though, so I was like, I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, what was I saying? Brain. No, it is very frustrating because like if this goes well, they're not gonna want Dany. Like the people aren't necessarily gonna want Dany, and we kind of have to rely on Aegon still. Like if Aegon at that point has such a high horse that he doesn't want Dany, and he's like, wait, actually Dany should be bowing down to me. You know what I mean? Like that would be bad. We don't have to rely on like Aegon's mercy when Dany gets here. Like we want it to be like Dany can come in and like do her thing too.
Yeah,
so,
what Tyrion said was that Aegon's gonna get in trouble and then Daenerys is gonna come swooping in to save him.
Yeah.
And like maybe Aegon will be the better ruler because Daenerys hasn't really done a good job in the last little bit. But
wait,
she is the character.
When did Tyrion say that? I thought Tyrion...
Oh, when he was talking to Aegon and he was like, why are you going to Daenerys empty-handed with nothing to offer? Instead, go to Westeros, get yourself in trouble, and then...
What do you mean, get yourself in trouble? But it, like...
He said Daenerys is a rescuer, so she'll come rescue you.
Oh,
she won't...
got it! Oh, okay, right. Oh, okay, got it. So Tyrion was kind of like, I know you're gonna fuck up, but that's the point.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're thinking about, like, how that's actually gonna look, not just Tyrion's random comments over a game that young Griff has taken so to heart, you know?
Yeah, like I said, he might be a better leader. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like he was trained from birth to be a leader. Maybe there is something to say for that. Maybe not. I don't know. But like, Daenerys she's our girl. Like we have seen her from when she was literally 13 years old, being sold into a marriage.
Yeah.
And like, I want her to be the one to succeed.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
And maybe this guy can be a sidekick somewhere, but like, I want all this for her.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Okay.
It is like, cause earlier when Barristan was like, hey, Quentin, if you'd just shown up earlier, that actually would have been really great for us and really great for you. So it really is like, it's like a combination of like Dany's doing all these things, but then she's also just getting unlucky, like, and, like, especially, like, yeah, because Connington, because you know how, like, young Griff was basically given to him, and they were, and, like, Varys and them were, like, or not Varys, it was Illyrio, right, who was like, hey,
Varys and Illyrio,
yeah, Varys and Illyrio, who was like, hey, we know how much you care, here you go, do this, you know, if he'd been given Dany and Viserys, you know, and I know it wouldn't hit the exact same, because those were not Rhaegar's kids, but just, like, and I know it would have been completely different, and it would have shaped Dany's journey differently, whatever, but it just kind of sucks, because young Griff has this, like, built-in guy who is, like, determined to make him the conqueror.
Yeah, but also everybody knew who Daenerys and Viserys were, like...
Right.
Like, the whole plan was built on nobody knows who this kid is, like...
Right. I guess, but couldn't they have, like, still done, like, all the training stuff and whatever in secret, too? Because they'd run away. Like, they knew who these people were, but couldn't they still just create a disguise, create a persona? Like, you know, I feel like there's still a way to do it with them, it just would look different, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
so,
yeah, it does suck. You make
predictions.
Yeah.
They are or have sent a letter to Dorne. How's that? How is Dorne going to respond? Like, Doran...
Yeah. Doran. I think...
Arianne, like, all the people.
Yeah,
the sand snakes.
Yeah. I think they're gonna be hesitant about this because of, like, the plans that have been laid and whatever, like, you know, like, we've kind of been counting on this Dany plan, but I think also they're smart enough to take the opportunity where it comes, like, especially if they get news that, like, Dany ran away on a dragon somewhere, or, like, Dany died, or Dany got stuck somewhere. Like, I feel like they might be resistant at first, but I think that, like, Doran ultimately will be like, okay. But I also think, though, that, like...
Also, like, this is supposedly his sister's kid.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it'll be, like, I don't know, like, prove to me that it's my sister's kid, or, like, I want to meet this kid, or, like, something, but I think ultimately, if he, like, meets the kid and he's like, this is my sister's kid, then I think ultimately it'll be like, I want to support you, whatever.
Right.
Like, but then it's just tough, though, because his son is literally off to go get Dany. But I do think that, like, maybe he'll just play both sides for now and just see where it goes, and then be like, you guys are relatives, work it out, you know? Because I think also, like, I know that he has, like, endless patience, and, like, that's kind of one of his traits, but I think that, like, even if you're a super patient person, when the plan starts coming together, like, you truly feel like it's coming together, your patience kind of can snap sometimes, you know? Like, all that patience that you had for so long leading up to the plan happening, sometimes as things get into action, you just become impatient. So I kind of feel like Doran is probably going to give in to this and is going to be like, we'll figure it out, you know? But there could also be conflict, because I feel like Arianne and the Sand Snakes are going to be like, yeah, do it. Like, let's make this happen quick, you know? We want to get revenge. This is literally Elia's son, all the things, you know? So, but I think if anyone isn't going to be convinced, it's going to be Doran.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. How is the attack on Storm's End gonna go?
Oh my god. Okay. I think... Did I write anything down about this? The thing that I'm worried... I think that the Storm's End attack is gonna be okay, especially since, like, Mace Tyrell isn't there anymore, but he was there for a long time. I think, like, exhausting them. So I think that'll be good for now, like, young Griff and them to come in and take over. The one thing I'm worried about is Aegon's health and well-being while leading the charge. Because I think, like, can you remind me who exactly is holding it for Stannis? Holding down the fort for Stannis?
I don't know who exactly.
Okay, cool. Because if it's, like, one of the Florents and shit, like... or no, one of them's dead and one of them we know where he is. But, like, if it's, like, someone... Yeah, anyway, whatever. But I think I'm just worried about, like, Aegon getting kidnapped or getting injured, or... Do you know what I mean? Like, with him wanting to lead this charge, like, I don't think that he has I don't know if he necessarily has the experience to do this right. And this is a big one. Like, if we don't get Storm's End, and we've kind of revealed ourselves a little bit, it's tough. And also, if he starts leading, I think that, like, the potential for rumors to spread is even higher. And people are already going to be curious. So, I don't know. I think it's going to... I think it's going to blow their cover. But I think it's bad that he's leading the charge. I think if he wasn't leading the charge, I'd be a lot more optimistic about this plan.
Yeah, but if he leads the charge and they win and then they, like, crown him and call his banners... Then he led the charge, and it's like this whole like symbolic thing, and like
yes,
you know,
that's good.
So my questions for two questions.
Yeah.
One, is he just yes or no? Is he going to lead the charge?
Yeah.
Will he be allowed to in all of those?
It's going to be a fight, but I think he's going to be allowed to.
Will they win?
Yeah, but I think Aegon, like, I think they'll win the castle, but I don't know if Aegon's going to make it through slay and healthy and get crowned. Like, I feel like he could get kidnapped. He could like something
in the battle for Storm's End. He might.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all I have. Yeah, because I believe in their ability to take the castle. I just don't believe in Aegon's ability to not do something silly that gets him caught or hurt or something. You know? Because I think he's in his era of I need to prove myself. And also I think that what Connington needs to, like, really sit down and, like, be honest with him and, like, just really get him back on his side. Like, not that Aegon isn't on Connington's side, but I just think Aegon needs to, like, realign himself with... I think Connington needs to realign himself with Aegon, just make sure that they're on the same page, because I just feel like there have been a lot of things recently where it's like they're not necessarily on the same page, and I think for... like, things are starting to happen. If there's any time you need to be on the same page, it's now. You know?
Yeah.
Like, your loyalties, like, up until now, his loyalty has, like, nothing's been tested, and now these things are going to start to be tested. So, you know?
Yeah. A theory time?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. People have been, like, yelling at me to talk about this theory with you for a long time.
Okay.
And, like, my bad, folks. We have been, like, batch recording, so we're recording a lot more often, so I kind of lost track of when a good time would be to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was like, okay, I'm going to talk about it in the next, you know, chapter where these people are available, they don't show up for half a book. So,
yeah.
Like, you know, now's the time.
Yeah.
So, there's, like, I don't know what the percentages is, but there's a strong percentage of the fandom that's like, this kid, fake, not Aegon Targaryen.
Okay.
And then there's, like, some people that are like, no, it makes way more sense for him to be Aegon Targaryen.
Okay.
And, like, people tend to be, like, very
strongly feeling one way or the other? Okay, yeah, interesting.
Yeah. But at large, like, really, Aegon is referred to as Fagon, like, a lot.
That also sounds like a slur, which is also sending me. Yeah. Especially because his fake dad, or even his real dad, actually was gay. Or if he's real, you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that. Yeah, like, I think Rhaegar was bi, is what I think.
Yes, but I just mean, like, Rhaegar could be his dad or could not, depending on if you believe the theory. That's what I meant.
Yes. You know what? Since it's mostly on Reddit that we read these, I haven't really said that out loud very often. I will be honest.
Of course, yeah.
Or it'll be like, maybe the way people pronounce it is like F Aegon, or like,
yeah.
that's not much better.
Yeah,
but...
I feel like also a lot of the people engaging deeply with this theory are probably also engaging with, like, are probably also maybe gay themselves, so they just are like, who cares if it sounds like a slur, you know, because I can say that slur.
But it's it just, things sound like other things all the time. Okay, let's not get stuck on that. Okay, so the theory is that little Griff, young Griff, is not actually. Sorry, I'm like in the Reddit of this, and it says little Griff, not young Griff, and that's why I was like, what?
Why do people? Okay, sorry, continue.
Why do people what?
Why call him little Griff? Young Griff is right there. They call him young Griff.
Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe they just, like, forgot.
Fair.
So this is, like, the summary. Aegon is not actually the baby of Rhaegar Targaryen and Elia Martell, but a Blackfyre imposter that Varys and Illyrio Mapatis are propping up as a real Targaryen. He's descended from the female Blackfyre line, as all the males were killed. An additional variation of the theory is that Aegon is the child of Illyrio and his late wife Sarah, who may have been a Blackfyre.
Holy.
Some think that Varys also may have Blackfyre blood in him.
Wow, and that adds more substance to doing all of this shit.
Yeah, so, like, that's the summary, okay?
Okay.
So there's, like, all the visions about the, you know, cloth dragon, the mummer's dragon, the, like, Daenerys is constantly being, you know, told about all this. So there's, like...
Right.
And she's called a slayer, like, you're gonna be the one that slays the lies, like, all the things that are indicating that there's gonna be some kind of fake Targaryen.
Got it. Okay.
Right,
yes. What did I think that was, or did I just not have a single thought?
I think you may have, like, said that it was I don't remember. This is a long time ago. It's been a long book, okay?
I haven't thought about this in a while, but yeah. Okay, cool, continue. So the visions and all the things.
Yeah, so, you know, obviously, like, that mummer's dragon or, like, fake dragon or cloth dragon or whatever could be Aegon being the dragon. And then another way to interpret this is that Varys is the mummer. You know, he was a mummer, and Aegon is his dragon.
Okay.
So, you know, in that way,
right.
that could be in support of, like, he's actually Aegon. Like, Varys could have a real dragon or a fake dragon. That's...
Right, but it's still Varys's, like, he was set up by Varys, all the things.
Yeah, but there is a lot of prophecy about how Daenerys is going to encounter a fake dragon.
Right.
And maybe it's like less literal. Maybe it's like
he isn't right, you know? Like,
they don't have the dragon spirit or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's also interesting because one of the things I think that we like about Dany is that, like, because of her past and her experiences, she is going to be a little bit different of a dragon. She's not going to be kind of like the Mad King Aerys, the Varys variety, or not Varys, Viserys variety.
Viserys.
Like, she's going to kind of be a different type of dragon.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So that's like a major part of the theory.
Okay.
A lot of the rest of the theory comes from that Tyrion chapter where he's traveling with Illyrio to get to Griff and his company, like the boat. So they're talking about, like, how you know, the Golden Company is gonna support this, and the Tyrion's like, but they are already in contract with some of the free cities. They wouldn't break their contract.
Right.
And Illyrio says some contracts are written in ink and some in blood. And there's that whole thing about how the Blackfyres, their whole thing was opposing the Targaryens, so why would they support a Targaryen?
Right. Unless it was
actually a Blackfyre.
Yeah.
And there's so it's like back in the, you know, Varys or Illyrio told Blackheart, who was in charge of the Golden Company back in the day, like what Aegon's real identity was, and that's who their deal was with. So, like, they would have known, right?
Right, yeah.
And then and Tyrion also brings it up, like, why would the Golden Company fight for Targaryens? And Illyrio is like, black or red, a dragon is still a dragon. And he says the male line of House Blackfyre ended back when Meleys the Monstrous was slain at the Stepstones. And then the fact that he specifically says the male line is like, okay, so what happened to the female line? You know, it like brings up that question.
Yeah.
There's that part of the theory. I hope I'm doing an okay job of reiterating this.
Yeah.
Ask questions as they come up, okay?
Okay, yeah. I'm just trying to wrap my head around this.
Yeah, and the fact that Illyrio said black or red, a dragon is still a dragon, like he's saying the Golden Company would support either, but Daenerys remembers the Golden Company totally snubbing Viserys back in the day.
Yeah, but that's also Viserys.
But that could just be Viserys. Yeah,
yes.
Like I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, but still an interesting point. Like, is red or black either, you know? Like, is that fine? Yeah.
And then the theory about Aegon potentially being Illyrio and Sarah's son instead is that, so she's the wife that he still has the hands in a jar, if you remember.
Right.
But she was a sex worker from Lys, I think. And Lys is like known to have like lots of Valyrian, Targaryen blood, like through like lots of bastards and stuff and whatever.
Oh, okay.
And she had big blue eyes and pale golden hair streaked by silver. So that could mean that she has some Targaryen blood or like Blackfire history or something like that.
And then that's how he gets the features despite not being like a Targaryen.
Yeah. And Illyrio seems to have all that affection for the kid that, you know.
Right, he's like, tell young Griff. Like,
yeah,
whatever.
I'm sorry that I won't be there for his wedding. I'll rejoin you in Westeros. That I swear by my sweet Sarah's hands, he said.
Oh
yeah.
My God.
So, like, he's got all this, like, you know, there's that part of it.
Wait, that feels kind of compelling. That has been most convincing to me from everything you've said.
Is his, like, affection for the kid.
Yeah, and, like, I think the, like, Sarah stuff, the way that ties in, because because I think some of the other things I can come up with justifications for, with the, like, really loving this kid and all these things, I was like, what? So that was something that I never had an answer for, so I think that's why that's been the most compelling.
Yeah, and there's also that statue in Illyrio's garden that he says is like of a younger him, and I think people have compared descriptions of that statues with descriptions of Aegon, so they can be like, oh, Aegon looks like his dad looked back in the day, you know?
Right.
But I think there's like, I haven't personally done the comparison, and I don't think it's quoted in this Reddit post, so...
Interesting, okay.
I may be wrong about that. Okay. And then there's also, Illyrio is talking about like how believe as you wish, but even fat old fools like me have friends and debts of affection to repay. And Tyrion's like, liar, there's something in this venture worth more to you than coin or castle. So, like, you know, what is Illyrio's stake in this situation?
Yeah.
And
we had, one of the things I think we thought was like, oh, maybe his friend was like castrated and like enslaved and we didn't, like, you know, maybe it's for his friend. That's the debt of affection.
Yeah.
Oh my God, interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and here's the statue. Yeah. The statue, a naked boy stood on the water with a drawn blade. He was lithe and handsome, no older than 16, with straight blonde hair that brushed his shoulders. Mm-hmm. And that's all that we get. Right. But, I mean, that could apply to any 16-year-old. Like, a lot of 16-year-olds, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And, oh my God, this is my favorite part of this theory.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Brienne's chapter in A Feast for Crows, where she's talking to Septon Marybald.
Yeah.
And they're talking about the inn at the crossroads.
Okay.
Okay. So, like, they're talking about the history of the Inn at the Crossroads, like how it used to be called this, it used to be called that.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, it was so the owner, like, he forged a new sign for the yard, a 3-headed dragon of black iron that he hung from a wooden post. The beast was so big that it had to be made in a dozen pieces, joined with rope and wire. When the wind blew, it would clank and clatter, so the inn became known far and wide as the Clanking Dragon. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then Pod is like, oh, is the dragon sign still there? And Maribald's like, no. When the smith's son was an old man, a bastard son of the fourth Aegon rose up in rebellion against his true-born brother and took his sigil for a black dragon. Blackfire Rebellion, right?
Mm-hmm.
These lands belonged to Lord Derry back then, and his lordship was fiercely loyal to the king. The sight of the black iron dragon made him wroth, so he cut it down the post, hacked the sign into pieces, and cast them into the river.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like
But
during the Blackfire Rebellion, they were like, we can't have black signs. We can't just paint it for some reason, but we can't have black dragon signs around. So he threw it into the river.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the dragon's heads washed up on the Quiet Isle
Mm-hmm.
many years later. Remember the Quiet Isle where Brienne ends up, and they're like always talking about things washing up there?
Yeah.
Though by that time, it was red with rust. So the theory part is like it's a black dragon disguised as a red dragon.
Yeah.
This is
my
so
God.
outrageous, but it is my favorite.
I love fans. I love humans, and
I
the way
remember
that
when I heard
get,
it, I was immediately like, yes.
I love
yes,
the way that we get attached to things, and then we literally write our own novels about novels, which is like the coolest shit in the world, you know?
There are so many more words written about A Song of Ice and Fire than are, like, by, like, thousands of %. Like, times, like, maybe 1,000,000 times. I don't know.
Like exponentially more. Like,
yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's okay. Hold on. Let me. Okay. Wow. Okay. So that's like symbolism that we were supposed to pick up on that George R. Martin was dropping down. Basically, is the theory.
Yeah. A whole book in advance in a completely unrelated place.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
No, I'm telling you, I was sold. What sold me on this theory was this. So
that's so funny. I thought what sold me was absurd, but what sold you is even more fun. Okay, wait. Yeah, so. Oh my God. Okay. This is a big theory. Okay, but you are sold on this theory? You think this is true, probably?
There's more.
Oh, okay.
So let's
continue. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's the part that Varys himself is a Blackfire.
Mm-hmm.
The main part of this is that, remember, he was castrated.
Yeah.
So that his, like, as part of like a spell or something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then there's that whole thing about like king's blood, like how that's much more like potent in spells.
Right. Yeah.
So the theory is that the priest or whoever castrated him did it knowing that Varys had royal blood, or like sensed royal blood in him, and he could have royal blood through being a Blackfire. And also he doesn't, like, he keeps his head shaved, or he doesn't he keeps his head shaved, so we don't know what color his hair is.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's the one who, came up with this baby that was like, I saved the prince.
Right. You know? Yeah, he just, hey, look, here he is.
I think this is them, like, this is them trying to, like, add to why Varys would fake it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Interesting. Oh my God.
What? Okay, so other things, the other argument this person is making is that, like, the Dunk and Egg novellas cover a lot of, like, the Blackfire Rebellion history. Like, why would they do that if it wasn't significant to the main series? I'm not sold on that. I think, like, that could just be its own thing and that's still cool, you know?
Right. And we still get the things pop up every once in a while, like, otherwise.
Yeah. Okay. Now there's stuff that doesn't. That's like what's against this theory.
Okay.
So there's like to save. No. Sorry, this is still for this theory.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry. For this theory.
Mm-hmm.
So Varys claims that he switched baby Aegon before his head was smashed by Gregor.
Mm-hmm.
Gregor smashing the baby's head was instrumental in people like not identifying the baby as anybody other. Like the baby was unidentifiable.
Mm-hmm.
How did Varys know that he was gonna smash the head?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did he know that he could pull off the switch and like it be bought by everybody else? Right.
Right. I guess, like, because maybe he didn't know that, but he figured the life would be in danger, and Gregor, in the moment, wouldn't know any different. Like, I think maybe... I don't think Varys had to have figured out all the future logistics to be worried enough about the guy's life to switch.
Okay, fair enough.
You know?
The other thing that's for this
I love that
theory
I'm arguing for this theory that I learned about 2 minutes ago.
That's okay.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking out loud, like, you know?
Yeah. Okay, the other thing is that, like, young Griff's age.
Mm-hmm.
So, Aegon was born... Okay, basically, by the time Tyrion meets this kid,
Mm-hmm.
Aegon should be 18 years old. But when Tyrion, like, sees the kid, he's like, oh, he's around 15 or 16 or near enough to make no matter. So he's guessing, like, younger than he should be.
Okay.
So people are like, oh, it's not the same kid. He's younger, you know?
Right.
I think that's also just kind of weak sauce. Like, yeah, like, I'm not good at guessing anybody's age.
Right, yeah. And I think also maybe, like... Yeah, but also... Yeah, I think age is tough. Yeah. Like, I have no idea.
That's not super compelling.
The one thing I would maybe say to support this, though, is doesn't it take a few years for them to, like, reach out to John Connington and be like, hey... So maybe it was like... Because when we found out about the John Connington stuff, that was kind of my only thing, was I was like, why'd you wait so long to send him to John to train?
Right, so if he was, like...
If this kid is in fact younger, then it makes sense that it took them more time.
They needed a couple of years for the kid to be comparable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Look at you, adding to the theory.
I'm arguing both ways now. I've argued for and against this theory.
Okay. And then other evidence for this comes from early drafts of some of the chapters that George released or read or something.
Okay.
So if you remember, in this book, Illyrio is like, I have clothes and gifts for the kid. You know?
Right.
And then we never really find out what. Tyrion's just like, oh, it's probably like money.
Yeah, of course.
In an early version of this, he hears Halden talking to Illyrio, and they're talking in High Valyrian or like in Volantene, and he can catch a few words, and what he catches are queen, dragon, and sword.
Oh.
And people think that sword could mean the sword Blackfire. And like Blackfire has been lost to history for a while now.
Okay.
And so they're thinking it could be Illyrio somehow procured it and is giving it to Aegon.
Okay.
Because he's a Blackfire.
Right.
I think he could also be giving it to Aegon if he's a Targaryen. Because really, Blackfire was a Targaryen sword that got given to the guy who became Blackfire, you know? Yeah. Okay. And you know what? That's all.
Okay. I like this theory. It's interesting.
Yeah. So where do I land on this?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I don't know if I have. Okay, let me think.
Okay.
What is young Griff's purpose in this story? Okay.
Okay.
I do think he's somebody who Daenerys will encounter, be betrayed by, and then so when Jon is revealed as one of her relatives, she's even more skeptical of Jon.
Okay, interesting.
Or like, I don't know if I definitively think that's his purpose, but I think that
Right.
could be one of the purposes of his character.
Okay. Yeah.
I also think it makes no sense to have Jon, who is not a Targaryen, but like the bastard of a Targaryen or the kid of a Targaryen at least, and have another kid that is basically the same thing, right?
Right.
Like, it takes away from Jon's significance, I think.
Right.
If there's like two of them running around.
Okay.
So like that leans me towards like this kid is fake, mummers dragons, all those prophecies, you know?
Right. Okay.
And so that's where that takes me. But also I think it doesn't really matter if he's fake or not. I think I'll like maybe he's real and then he, like, you know, the three heads are Daenerys, Jon, and him. And that's fine. That's just kind of basic, you know? Like, it's just so blah.
You're so evil for that. Ugh, that's just so blah.
Like, I want it to be like Jon, Dany, and like Bran, how we talked about. Like, you know, like he's got the, you know, he's winter, and Jon's winter, summer, and winter, fire, and then like Daenerys is all fire. Like,
yeah, that's so funny.
I don't know.
I think it would also be really interesting because, yeah, like if it was, like young Griff, Jon, and Dany, then it's like all people who are Targaryen dragons. So I do get what you're saying. Like, it would be really interesting if the three heads of the dragon didn't necessarily have to be Targaryen, if we didn't need to keep up the traditions of keeping it in the family, despite the incest, you know? Like, it would be nice if we had non-Targaryen heads of the dragon, for that reason, too.
Yeah. I'm trying to, because like, we've had some discussion over this in Discord, and like, there's the people that are like, yeah, fake, and then I'm trying to like find the stuff that's like, why do people think he is real? So give me a second.
Okay. Is this like one of the big questions of the series?
Yes.
This is like a like Edward or Jacob? Like
sure.
Like someone's like, oh, you're a fan. Here's obviously one is like a question that you really have to engage with, and the other is just what, you know?
So this is Joe on Discord, who said, personally, I'd prefer it if Aegon was exactly who he says he is. Just that Joe feels that Daenerys versus Aegon would be a lot more compelling if he wasn't an imposter.
Okay.
And then that her whole arc has been saying that she wants to take the throne back because it's rightfully hers. But if she shows up and then there's a nephew who has a more rightful claim on it, then she has to do it for like, oh, I want it because I want it, not because it's rightfully mine.
Right.
Which, yeah, that makes sense.
That's interesting. Yeah, I like that.
But I think like Daenerys can still, okay, Jon, even if a bastard, has got a dick, so like people will put more value on him as an heir than Daenerys potentially. Like, I think Jon, because what I said to Joe was like, yeah, but like Jon can serve that same purpose, like,
right,
you know,
for someone, for Dany
obviously
to be against.
The pushback was like Jon isn't like legit, like Jon is just a bastard, he doesn't have the same rightful claim.
Yeah,
but like I said, he's a guy, so people may still prefer his claim to Daenerys's claim in some cases, and that can still cause that conflict, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's complicated. I think currently, as of this moment, I'm leading fake.
Interesting.
And I'm leaning fake, but the kid himself doesn't know he's fake. So there can be like,
oh, I definitely don't think the kid knows he's fake.
Yeah, so there will be like things to reckon with for him himself too.
Yeah. No, I 100%.
That is if he doesn't die of grayscale from John Connington.
Yeah. No, I definitely don't think that I honestly would go as far to say that I don't think John Connington knows. I don't think
John Connington definitely doesn't. Yeah, no, nobody here knows. The only people that know that are like, I think Blackheart would have known to agree to this, like as like the leader of the Golden Company at the time,
right? And
obviously Varys would know and Illyria would know, but I think it's limited pretty much.
Yeah, to that. And we literally don't even know where Varys is, so isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Where is that guy? Is there a theory about where Varys is? There must be.
I want your theory about where Varys is.
I literally...
Okay, just like a picture all of like Westeros, Essos, everything. Where do you see him in which continent? Let's go start with continent.
Mm-hmm. I think he is in Westeros.
Okay. And then which region would he most likely be in?
I don't know.
Like, would he be in the north? Would he be in Dorne? Would he be in the Reach? Would he be in the Stormlands? Would he be in the Crown Lands? Would he be in the Lannister Lands or the Riverlands or the Vale?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a theory, and it's all I got for you, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, he's in King's Landing. He's
in the walls. Sorry.
He's like with the High Septon, making some of this Cersei, Marjorie stuff happen.
Okay, I like that. I like it.
Because I think that's also gonna help.
Okay, but I don't think anybody needed help. I don't think you needed anybody but Cersei's help in making that happen, though.
True. That's true. Varys doesn't need to be there for these things to happen, but I think that Varys, because you know how now she might be able to use fake Gregor to just get out of it, but I think, Varys can't really do anything about that, but maybe he can, I don't know, maybe they can then, I feel like the only way I can see her, maybe like she gets off because of the fake Gregor guy, but then maybe they're like, we're putting you in trial again, and this time, because of this loophole, you can't have a champion. And then they neutralize Gregor. Okay, so then she gets because she has a lot more crimes that we have not brought out.
So you think he's in King's Landing because it's like the nexus of power, and he can like maneuver and make shit happen from there?
Yeah, because I think that like ultimately the things that he and Illyrio set out to do haven't happened yet. So I think he's still gonna try and move things as much as he can.
Cool. Okay. So we had that. What?
Oh my god, fun theory, guys. Okay, we should do next chapters.
So wait, no. Where do you? My question. Where are you leading right now?
I really do need to think on this, but I think I'm leaning. Aegon's fake.
Okay.
Because I think that, like...
And you've just been exposed to this, and you can't access anything else about this, but you can go back in your notes and highlights and all the things.
Yeah, now I can sort of read with that on my mind. I will say, another thing that's kind of compelling me towards maybe he's fake is because that is a thought that has independently hit me sometimes, but I've just been...
and you have said it a little bit on the podcast.
Okay, I don't remember saying it on the pod.
Just not like committing to it.
Really? Okay, I actually don't remember myself saying it on the pod, but I do remember reading and thinking it sometimes. So I'm glad I said it. But I just remember sometimes reading and being like, that feels awfully convenient. But like, also, like, sometimes things just happen. Like, every book has moments where you're like, I don't completely buy that, but I trust it, you know? So I think I just kind of put it out of my head. But I think because that came to me, And as I hear the theory, I'm like, okay. So I think I'm leaning toward, I think I'm like 60% yes, 40% no way.
So I'm looking through kind of my notes and stuff from the book. At one point, Daenerys is like thinking about Rhaegar's kids and how like Aegon would have been closer to my age than Viserys, and that if he had lived, I might have married him.
Oh my god. Oh my
So.
god. Girl.
Illyrio about young Griff, he says there never was a nobler lad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, when Quaithe appears to Daenerys at the very beginning of this book when she's like bathing or something, like she tells her the glass candles are burning, soon comes the pale mare. Like reading these is always fun after the fact.
Yeah.
And after her the others, Kraken and Dark Flame, Lion and Griffin, the Sun's Son and the Mummer's Dragon. Trust none of them. Remember the Undying. Beware the perfumed Seneschal. So don't trust the Mummer's Dragon, you know.
But it's like they didn't show up though. They went the other. Like I guess it could be like they'll like make themselves known. So like after Quentin made himself known, now shortly after, like Aegon will be known. So I guess it makes sense that way. But everyone else like showed up towards Dany though. Like the Pale Mare showed up. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Victarion hasn't showed up yet.
That's true. But Aegon isn't showing up anytime soon, I think. Like he's over there. And Victarion seems like he is about to show up. Yeah, but
she said they're coming, and they were at that point still coming. It was afterwards that they changed course.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna spend more time on this because I think we've got the basics. Yeah. Okay. So you're currently leaning towards fake, right?
Yeah. Like 60% fake, 40% real.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then let's talk about next chapters.
Yeah.
We're reading 2 next time. Give me your hopes and predictions.
Okay. Let's get Bran and Dany.
So, not that, neither that.
Lovely.
Neither that nor that. We're reading chapters 62 and 63 next time. Chapter 62 is called The Sacrifice.
What the fuck? That could literally be fucking anything. Who's ready to go on a voyage? Who needs... John's people... Oh my god, this could be Melisandre.
She is the sacrifice?
No. Oh, wait. Right, because all the titles have been referring to the person. Not to, like... Right, because I was just thinking maybe Melisandre is sacrificing somebody, but that wouldn't make sense with the pattern. We haven't had a single one that wasn't about the person, I think. Okay, oh my god, someone's getting sacrificed. Oh my god, who the fuck is the sacrifice? Okay, hold on. What's Tyrion up to? What is he doing? Oh, he's with Brown Ben Plum. Oh my god. I hope none of these people are the sacrifice. Who the fuck is the sacrifice? Like Theon
who is at risk of being a sacrifice?
A lot of them.
Okay, well then name someone.
Like Theon, Asha, Bran? No, but Bran's like, would be, no, he's not sacrifice. Jamie. Oh my god,
would he be the sacrifice?
Well, I guess he's just the kill.
Okay, well then who do you think it is? Like, pick one.
Okay, let me think. I think it's Jamie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if it is, what will we see?
I mean, okay, so Brienne took him off to get sacrificed.
And he gets sacrificed in the end?
I think he'll be like the fake sacrifice. Because you know how I said she's not gonna kill him? I think it'll be like, they're gonna try and convince her, and then if she doesn't, they're gonna like kill her. They have some sort of plan, they're gonna make it happen. Catelyn. Cool. Fake Catelyn. That is dead Catelyn.
Then the next chapter we're reading is chapter 63, and it is Victarion.
Yes.
Who could that be?
You know, our guy. Yeah, I mean, I think he arrives and everything breaks out and they're fighting and Volantis is there and it's crazy and it's a terrible time. And we're seeing
Great.
how it goes.
Wonderful. Looking forward to it. So let's wrap it up. Folks, send us emails. Our email is popculturesymposium@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram @popculturesymposium. And of course, join the Discord. Tell us your thoughts about the Phagon theory. Now I can't unhear it. Like, why did you have to do this to me?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Fake Aegon theory. Griff. Fung Griff.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
Okay. Until next time. Farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later.